The Agency for Healthcare Administration in Florida says people in long-term care facilities must be allowed to leave for holiday visits if they'd like to. Those who choose to leave must wear a mask and will be screened when they return. The family of Lauren DeMolo hired a private investigator to help her case. DeMolo was last seen June 19th at her apartment on Coronado Parkway in Cape Coral. Still no winner in the race for president. As of early this morning, Joe Biden took a lead in Georgia. The former vice president's also leading in Nevada. The president was leading in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. The person responsible for putting hate signs on the FGCU campus has been caught. President Mike Martin sent an email to staff and students saying they found the person responsible after reviewing their license plate registration. That person has no relation to the campus. They received a trespass warning. FGCU is one of 6 women's teams in the Gulf Coast Showcase nicknamed the Beach Bubble. Like the NBA's bubble, teams will follow testing and social distancing protocols. No fans will be allowed in the stands, but there will be a live stream. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Good Friday morning. It really is a good Friday morning on the roadways for right now. If you're heading out of Lehigh Acres, a nice commute on the Daniels Extension, as well as Colonial Boulevard to the interstate. Slowing traffic on southbound Ortiz heading to Colonial Boulevard, as well as a tap on those brakes as you're heading southbound on 41 towards College Parkway. I-75 is still up to speed if you're heading to and from Lee and Charlotte. And in Collier County, traffic is slowing slightly on Santa Barbara Boulevard, traveling north to Golden Gate Parkway. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
85 degrees for your Friday. Few showers possible, but limited, as we see a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Chance of rain Saturday, then we watch the progress and the potential for rain and wind associated with Ada Sunday through Tuesday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah.
Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
Attention Florida electricians. I want you to look down at your uniform shirt. Is the name Best Home Services embroidered on the front? If not, you are working at the wrong company. Join a team where you can create your own opportunities. Join Best Home Services. If you take pride in providing outstanding customer service, Best Home Services is where you want to be. Of course, we offer top wages, top benefits, and top perks, but it's the other stuff that makes us different. You and your family deserve more. Join the team at Best Home Services and enjoy living up to the name. Best Home Services, now hiring electricians.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for a pivotal role at her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. Monica did, and that's how she found Lamont, her new project superintendent.
The job is so perfect for me. I had a career breakthrough. I would have never found this job if it wasn't for ZipRecruiter.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists. With ZipRecruiter, we get hiring results.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
When you think RV, think La Mesa RV. Every RV is posted with our everyday low price. Top brands like Winnebago, Fleetwood, and Integra. A new Integra Vision motorhome, number A02779, is discounted over $41,000. If you're thinking it's time to check out RVs, think La Mesa RV. I-75 at Luckett Road in Fort Myers, or LaMesaRV.com. All advertised prices plus tax tag title and $9.95 dealer fee. Offer expires day of ad.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, plus there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Federal agencies urge every family to have an emergency radio. During any disaster, electrical power may get cut. The emergency radio gives you the vital information you need. Newsmax wants you to have the Dynamo Emergency Radio. It doesn't need batteries and works in any emergency. It retails for $30, but get it today with the free offer. Call toll-free 877-NEWSMAX. That's 877-NEWSMAX. Or go online to gettheradio.com and get the emergency radio today.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. That is the talk and text line. We stream live each and every day on YouTube. There you are. There I am. There's Jake. Jake's there as well. Look at you. He's like a statue. He doesn't move. Look at that. Oh, no, he just moved. Oh, look at that. You're like animatronic. It's like a Disney. You're like a Disney character. It's like if you went to the park and there you are. You kind of, and your movements are very animatronic. They're very Jake Day Friday.
I wish I was an animatron.
I wish you were too, because then I can control you with an app. And then like That's fair. Then when I go to you, it's like you're not like frozen in time. Like this. Anyway. All right. Boy, we're trying to make sense of all of this. And I think we all know what the sense is. And the fight's not over. It's not going to be over. I'm concerned about a couple of different things right now that I'll get into, including those that have been saying that, well, listen, the good news is that the Senate is still going to be in the hands of Republicans, so we'll be able to. Before you finish that statement, it's not. It's not a sure thing. There's good news and bad news, and then there's some bad news and some good news. And as far as the Senate is concerned, it's still in play, everybody, because did you think everybody was saying, well, the presidential election, I mean, if Democrats are going to rig the election, if they're going to do all of this, then why is it that they still don't have the Senate? Why don't you explain that to me, Mr. Steele? Can you explain why, if in your fantasy world, that Democrats are rigging this election and they're trying to get Joe Biden as president of the United States, then why, Mr. Steele, would they not go for the Senate? Do you really think that they just want the presidency? What use is it having Joe Biden as president if the Senate's going to be there as a firewall and stop everything? Why don't you explain that? Well, here's the explanation. The Senate's still in play. You're right. Now we not only have one, but possibly two seats in Georgia that will go to a runoff. And if both of those seats go to Democrats, all bets are off. All bets are off. So everything's in play. The fight continues. I want to hear from you this morning, this whole day today. I want to know what you're thinking. What do you feel? What do you want to know? What do you want to talk about? 239-479-5592. I see a lot of people calling already. I know there's probably a whole bunch of folks that are frustrated. Well, I want to hear from you. We had a huge, bigly, if you will, interview with Steve Deace yesterday from Blaze TV. So many people asked, would you please play that again? Because it was some interview. And so we're going to replay that at 7. You'll get a chance to hear Steve Deace. He was amazing on election night on Blaze TV with Glenn Beck. And wait till you hear some of the things that he talked about and how, listen, there is a fight here, everybody. We're going to have to figure all of this out. What does that look like? We'll get to some of the audio from the president. We'll get to some of the ridiculous things that are happening that are on full display. And if you're a Democrat, I would love for you to call this morning again, right here, 239-479-5592, and explain to all of us, not just me, but everybody who's listening. Unless you're worried about it, then it's just me and you. We're the only two. Just explain to me. If you are all about transparency, if you are all about openness, if you're all about, hey, listen, if it was Joe Biden who was losing to Donald Trump, he would want to go and have a recount and revisit these ballots and see what's going on here. If it was that close, where now we come to find out Georgia has flipped everybody. Now Joe Biden takes a slight lead in Georgia. Really? Do you see the game? Now, if you're thinking that it's conspiracy theory, then explain to me why there are so many problems with transparency, with the count and the recounts in places like Philadelphia and Arizona and Nevada, and I can go on and on and on and on and on. You should be quite open to it because that's what you want, right? You want transparency. Where's yours? All right, before we get to the calls, before we get to the latest with the president and what he said yesterday, and listen, the fight's on. Everybody said the president should go to the mat for this. This should not just open it all up. If it's a wound that has been just a tiny little wound there, you got to open the wound. You got to put it all on display, everybody, because we can't have this be the new norm. That every election cycle, 2 more years, we're going to do this again. We're going to have a governor's race here in the state of Florida. Is that what Democrats are going to do now to take over the state? Are we going to like what's the new norm now in states that are run by Democrats? Here we won't have that issue necessarily. But is that the new norm now that we just wait until we can collect enough votes to get the winning result that they want? 10,000 for the troops. Listen, let's talk about something that's positive this morning and positive all the way up until the first week of December. Yes, people have been asking 10,000 for the troops. It's that time of year, believe it or not, and we would love for you to be part of it. So yes, we are doing 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. Again, 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. Let's remember those that are serving this country. Let's remember that there are soldiers, men and women who are overseas, who don't get the chance to see their families for the holidays, but would love to know that they are thought about and remembered, and how, of course, we don't forget about them. And so the best way that we have found, and one that you have taken into your homes, into your schools, and we do appreciate it, is 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. Same address as last year, so if you still have that, that's great. Get your Christmas cards all gathered up. Remember, don't seal the envelopes because they have to be vetted before they go out. And let's get 10,000 for the troops. Let's see if we can break a record this year, especially considering what we're going through right now. And I know it's a lot, and I know there's a lot on your plate, but boy, if you could do this, that would be incredible. All right, a couple of things. President yesterday saying...
This is a case where they're trying to steal an election. They're trying to rig an election, and we can't let that happen. Detroit and Philadelphia, known as 2 of the most corrupt political places anywhere in our country, easily cannot be responsible for engineering the outcome of a presidential race.
Now, wait a minute. Engineering the outcome of a presidential race. Do you have any evidence? Is there one little shred, tiny little bit of evidence that you can show us right now that would indicate that in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia to be exact, that there's something like that going on? There's something shady happening. Let's listen to Pam Bondi. She was in Pennsylvania yesterday. What's going on there?
They are still not in compliance. Our votes are being suppressed. We cannot count the votes properly. What's happening is they have moved the barrier up to 6 feet, but they took away the ballot machines that were in the front row and moved them to the back of the building. It's unbelievable what they're trying to do to our votes that have been legally cast. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, your legal votes must be tabulated, and they're not doing that.
Well, that's interesting. There's Pam Bondi in Pennsylvania with Corey Lewandowski and the Trump lawyers, who the campaign's lawyers, who said, we came here with a judge's order that says that we're allowed in and we're allowed to watch. And as they walked in there, they were like, oh, well, we haven't really talked to anybody yet about this. And so to placate to the Trump lawyers, they said, okay, we'll get you closer. They moved them 6 feet forward so that they could get closer to the machines. And then they took the machines that were close to where the fencing was, to the area where they were cordoning off people, and moved them to the back of the room. Where's your transparency? Doesn't exist. And when the president talks about that, he's spot on because he knows what's going on the ground. There's more coming up on this. the president did bring up polling and the fake polls and why it matters. Why do fake polls matter? In other words, if the media is showing 10-point leads for Biden, 15-point leads for Biden, 7-point leads for Biden, the state of Florida is going to Biden, it's going to be a big flip. It's going to be huge. Hey, how's Andrew Gillum doing getting those million Democrats here in the state of Florida voting? I think he's still trying. Yeah. Why does that matter? I'll explain why it is so important coming up. All right, let's get to some calls. Rob's in Fort Myers. Hey, Rob.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, even if we do keep the Senate, before Trump got into office, our Republican representatives in the Senate and the House really didn't do much. I feel like the only reason they fought back while he was in office was because they knew that he had control of the party. So I feel like it doesn't matter if we keep the Senate. It's just going to go back to politics as usual, making deals.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong. I mean, I'll say this, Rob. There, in a lot of ways, you are spot on, and I'll explain here right now. I believe you're right that Republicans back in 2016, when he won 2017, people were hedging a little bit. Republicans were hedging a little bit about Donald Trump and his connections to Russia, and they were kind of hedging to try to see where all of this was going. Really wasn't very sure. There's a reason why Donald Trump's not exactly a fan of John McCain. It was because John McCain had one of his people in his camp go get the Steele dossier and then deliver it to the FBI. So remember, there were people that were in the Republican Party that weren't exactly fans of Trump and waiting to see what happened. And then when they realized how popular he was and the things that he wanted to do, they kind of wanted to run on his coattails. And then now what happens? Well, the case could be made to you, Rob, and to your point, and this is part of the worry, that who's going to be the most powerful person in the country if Donald Trump is not the next president of the United States? I hate to say it, but let's just be honest. Tell me, Rob, who's the most powerful person in the United States of America in the case that Joe Biden? Now, hold on. That Joe Biden is the president, that the Senate remains in Republican hands, and Nancy Pelosi and Congress and the House, which, by the way, is not a done deal yet. I'll get to that in a second. And Nancy Pelosi is the House Majority Leader. Who's the most powerful person in the United States?
Pelosi.
No, the most powerful person in the United States is Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell has the power. He's the one that can stop it. He's the one that can move it forward. He's he's more powerful, dare I say, than Joe Biden. Joe Biden could put anything he wants out there, but if it doesn't move past Mitch McConnell, it doesn't move. He becomes the most powerful man in the country, more powerful than the president. So to your point, is there a case, and thanks for the call, I appreciate it, is there a worry that we're not hearing too much out of the likes of Mitch McConnell and others in the Republican Party in defense of the president of the United States? And then you may ask yourself why. And does it mean that they don't necessarily have a problem with going back to business as usual, to Rob's point? You could make the case. I could make the case. I don't like saying it. I don't like that that's where we are, but that's not where we are with you and me. And you may say all of this is hyperbolic, and how dare you say that, but ask yourself if that's true. And who is backing and who's out there right now on the steps of the Capitol? Who's out there with a press conference saying, this is outrageous, this has to stop? Where are the people like Mitch McConnell, Jim Jordan, and others? Where are they? They put a little tweet out here and there, but I want to see faces on the streets with people around them who are outraged about this. I'm slapping my hands. Sorry. Doing a little clap back there, and that's not a good thing. All right, Ken's in L.A. Beautiful L.A. Oh, boy, is it beautiful.
Hey, how you doing? I am, really bitter. I'm, half this country must have failed must have loved Common Core math, and they definitely have a lack of common sense. 31 years ago, I was stationed in Germany, 1987 to 1990. I took a tour at the West German, East German, Czechoslovakian border. I was able to see the AK-47s across the river over there, from in front of a school, but in front of barbed wire fence across the river. Then in 1989, November, which would have been 31 years ago, the Berlin Wall came down. when we were in our convoys headed up to Grafenberg, we were able to see the East Germans celebrating when they were driving past our convoys in their East German cars. I am so offended by what the hell happened in the election and how people totally forgot what the freedoms that we fought and we protected for. And now this is what they want. I don't understand how we allowed ourselves to get to this point right now. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is, I was just a skinny kid at 18 years old, and now I'm 51 years old. And to watch this right now in front of my eyes, it's demeaning. It's really, mad.
Well, I have to tell you that you have a unique and important perspective, and I think that there are many people, Ken, that feel exactly what you feel. Like, what's happening here? What happened? And let's remember that the people that supported you then still exist in this country that support you now. That is the reason why we do 10,000 for the troops that support troops overseas, even in what little ways that they possibly can to show how much we care and appreciate them, like 10,000 for the troops. And they still exist. They still, too. Yeah, and stay right there. And they do, and they do exist. And you have to ask yourself, when you say, how did we get to this place? Ask yourself, who are the individuals that brought us to this point? What is their ideology? Where is the power structure? Where does it lie? And is it still with the American people, or is it someplace else? And that is the fear, that there are too many people outside of the American voice and the American people that are pulling the strings and running the show, where we don't get that opportunity. Listen, if we don't have integrity in this election or any election moving forward, if we don't have integrity right now and we can't prove it, we do not have a republic. We do not have a country. We just don't. It's period. All right, and you have one more thing, Ken. Go ahead.
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, I had this off the wall. Do you think Antifa and BLM people were running those polls of, counting the vote? Do you think that they somehow planted these people in these election places just to suppress the vote and cause all these issues? I mean, that's just an opinion of mine.
Well, there's a lot of ways to suppress the vote. It's not just, let's say, members of Antifa, BLM who are in counting ballots and are, and what's going on behind the scenes and the lack of transparency. And Ken, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. But let's remember where voter suppression also happens. And I'm going to get to that coming up in just a bit, because the president mentioned it yesterday. And there were people that were offended by the president, and how dare he say half the things that he's saying, and which is amazing to me, because as of right now, he's still the president of the United States. As of yesterday, when he made the announcement and he made his speech there from in front of the White House, in front of the press, he was still leading in the polls. Technically, it was it's still his election, unless it's taken from him. And people are acting as if he's losing and trying to take it back. It's amazing. Is it not amazing to anybody else? Am I the only one that sees this? That he's the president of the United States. Technically, by all accounts, when you're looking at the numbers and where they've been with Pennsylvania and Georgia and North Carolina, and even what is going on in Arizona and the doubt there and some of the other places, that he hasn't lost anything. And yet people are treating him as somebody who's losing or has lost, and he's a sore loser. They said that at the press conference. As he was walking out of the room, somebody said, "Are you being a sore loser, Mr. President?" He hasn't lost anything yet, but they're trying. All right, we'll get to some of that audio coming up. Don't forget, 10,000 for the troops, P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. Listen, a bright spot in a sour moment that is happening now and into the future, how things are going to go. And you're saying, is there a little bright light, something? Yes, 10,000 for the troops. So don't forget about it. Don't forget about our brave men and women serving this country. Stay Break 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Nearly every type of business is struggling as the coronavirus pandemic rages on, yet some that cater to people at home are actually seeing sales growth. The Wall Street Journal reports at-home fitness company Peloton, Papa John's Pizza, and video game maker Take-Two Interactive reported strong sales growth during the last quarter. We'll get the October jobs report this morning, and it's expected to show employers slowed their hiring for a fourth straight month during the pandemic. ESPN taking a COVID hit. The sports network says it plans to eliminate about 500 jobs. And stocks extend their rally as investors bet congressional gridlock will lessen chances for higher taxes. The Dow soared 542 points. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
Today, everyone is expecting you to maintain a new level of clean, from customers and employees to students and staff. Cintas has the essential products and services to help you carry out cleaning protocols effectively. We'll keep you well stocked with cleaning supplies, professionally laundered uniforms, and other essentials like face masks, hand sanitizer, and thermometers. Give everyone the confidence they need to keep coming back. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right. All along.
For perfect air and better health, call AC by Florida Comfort Systems. They're offering up to $13.50 in rebates plus payments as low as $132 a month on a new Linux system. Call AC by Florida Comfort Systems at 239-774-5501 today. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number CAC 057065.
Hey guys, did you hear the good news about our boys at National Exterminators?
Yeah, boss. You mean about the $46 hit fee?
Yeah, and National Exterminators just hired an old school killer.
Bugsy the Roach, Ratso the Rat, Tony the Termite, and the Anthill Mob better worry.
I'm gonna put a big bounty on them now. Hello, National Exterminators. Get me the masked man.
Hi-ho, Silver! Yes, Godfather. Me and my trusted partner Pronto will get it done fast. Hey, Pronto, the Godfather just called, and we have to wipe out the gang of critters out west.
Out west? West of what, Kimosabi?
West of Miami, of course. Hi-ho, Silver! Low prices today!
It's me, Ratso. I think we're done. The Lone Ranger and Pronto from National Exterminators has his corner.
Want to whack your gang of pests for only $46? Just call the boys at National Exterminators. Dial 239-46-NO-BUG and at 46nobug.com.
The National Exterminators.
Movember. What an interesting way to look at men's health through the lens of a mustache. You can start off clean-shaven and then proceed to grow your mustache as a way to celebrate men actually talking about their health. Yeah, talking. When it comes to erectile dysfunction, talking is a great start. When you talk about it, you're one step closer to solving it. The next step? Metro Men's Health. Call us today and schedule your free evaluation, and let's talk about your ED and how you, like thousands of men, can achieve consistent, longer-lasting results with the new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. So this Movember, grow your mustache for men's health, and then let Metro Men's Health help you grow your relationship. Mention mustache and get your evaluation free, $150 value. Call Metro Men's Health and schedule your free evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or metromenshealth.com.
I love being a bartender. I love waiting tables. But at the end of my shift, my feet were killing me. And so I had to pretend like I was having a good time, and really, I couldn't wait to sit down. But it wasn't just my feet, it was also my knees were achy. A lot of neck pain, too. I was in so much pain, I kind of lost hope, really. And then I saw the Good Feet store, and that's when everything changed.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Kristen enjoy their work again without their feet getting in the way.
It was pretty shocking to realize that I'd been in so much pain, and suddenly I'm completely pain-free. Now that I have the Good Feet arch supports, I don't have to pretend to be happy. I'm genuinely happy. So, cheers. My name is Kristen, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
And now a game of commercial chicken, brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
So, have you noticed how everyone's grammar is completely awful now? Like, the texting and the LOLs. Whatever happened to punctuation? I mean, drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
Okay, you win. We can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's Rockstar Harley's pre-owned black and orange tag sale this week. Hundreds of Harleys tagged with liquidation pricing. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. 100% of applications accepted. Save thousands this week. Only at Rockstar Harle's pre-owned black and orange tag sale. It ends this Sunday. Approved credit.
Heroes nowadays can be anyone. And no, they don't have to fly, or have X-ray vision, or superhuman strength. See, in Naples, our heroes wear masks. They practice physical distancing. They wash their hands regularly. NCH Healthcare System and the City of Naples are counting on you to be a hero and wear a mask. Because in Naples, all heroes wear masks.
Still ahead with Drew Steve.
All right, coming up, audio from the president talking about voter suppression. How? Well, I'll explain exactly how. Plus, if you missed our interview with Steve Days yesterday, it was pretty powerful. A lot of people asked for the replay. That'll be coming up at 7. So look forward to that. Plus, your phone calls on the way.
It's Daybreak with Drew Steve, 92.5 Fox News.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Despite more than 6,000 new cases reported across our state yesterday and more than 100,000 cases across the country, tourism is picking up in Lee County. A new report from the county shows more than half the tourists they talked with feel comfortable traveling again and visiting places like the beach. People in long-term care facilities are allowed to enjoy their families outside of their facility over the holidays. The Agency for Healthcare Administration in Florida says people in long-term care facilities must be allowed to leave for holiday visits if they'd like to. Those who choose to leave must wear a mask and will be screened when they return. The family of Lauren DeMolo hired a private investigator to help her case. DeMolo was last seen June 19th at her apartment on Coronado Parkway in Cape Coral. Still no winner in the race for president. As of early this morning, Joe Biden took a lead in Georgia. The former vice president's also leading in Nevada. The president was leading in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. The person responsible for putting hate signs on the FGCU campus has been caught. President Mike Martin sent an email to staff and students saying they found the person responsible after reviewing their license plate registration. That person has no relation to the campus. They received a trespass warning. FGCU is one of 6 women's teams in the Gulf Coast Showcase nicknamed the Beach Bubble. Like the NBA's bubble, teams will follow testing and social distancing protocols. No fans will be allowed in the stands, but there will be a live stream. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is very busy in Cape Coral. Slowdowns westbound on Tropicana starting from Pine Island. Also Pine Island slowing west of Santa Barbara to Nicholas. Normal delays on Gleason Parkway eastbound heading towards Skyline starting from Chiquita. We still look great on Cape Coral Parkway. From Chiquita to the bridge is a 6-minute commute. The traffic is very congested on that Midpoint Bridge heading into Fort Myers. The trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
85 degrees for your Friday. Few showers possible, but limited as we see a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Chance of rain Saturday, then we watch the progress and the potential for rain and wind associated with Ada Sunday through Tuesday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling tip of the day. There's only one Kobe Cooling in the whole world. We're the original Kobe Cooling. The only Kobe Cooling. That's KOBIE KOOLING at 239-482-1542. If you want real NATE certified mechanics with real training and real credentials, Kobe Cooling is your only choice. 100% NATE certified mechanics at your home to give you the best possible trained expert to handle your AC need. It doesn't make us perfect, but it does give you, our customers, the best available mechanic in this business. If you're not using a NATE certified mechanic at your home, you're missing out on the best. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949, and always NATE certified.
When you think RV, think La Mesa RV. Every RV is posted with our everyday low price. Top brands like Winnebago, Fleetwood, and Integra. A new Winnebago Intent motorhome, number A06509, is discounted over $37,000. If you're thinking it's time to check out RVs, think La Mesa RV. I-75 at Luckett Road in Fort Myers, or LaMesaRV.com. All advertised prices plus tax tag title and $9.95 dealer fee. Offer expires day of ad.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list, and in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License CCC 133-1790. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
Black Friday sales event going on now at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. 2020 Jeep Renegade Trailhawk 4x4 loaded, $139 per month. Grand Cherokee Limited or Ram Bighorn Crew Cab, lease for just $299 per month. That's right, loaded luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited or award-winning Ram trucks. Your choice, just $299 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. And our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. Jeep Adventure Days featuring Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs and Grand Cherokee Limited for $299 per month at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
42 monthly, 16,000 miles per year, $32.94 due at signing plus tax title, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months, 0% APR with 0 down. Lender approval offers don't combine.
Hey, it's Drew Steele talking to my good friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters. And I love talking to Dave because when I talk to Dave, I know that means he has something special for you. In this case, like I have in my home, Core Tech is absolutely amazing, Dave. And I got to tell you, I love it. My wife loves it. And boy, you've got a lot of Core Tech right now in stock.
Yes, we do. And we've got about 6 or 7 truckloads coming to beat the tariff increase, and we're going to guarantee a freeze of the prices on all our in-stock Core-Tech. We're not going to go up 50 cents a square foot, and we're going to save it for our customers.
And so when it comes to Core Tech, I mean, it is just amazing the selection that you have. And not only that, the installation is incredible. What you do there is fantastic.
Yes, and we stock 100 colors of Core-Tech.
Floor Meisters, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and want out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, We will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-780-5959. 800-780-5959. 800-780-5959.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steve.
This was unprecedented in American history. This was by design, despite years of claiming to care about the election security. They refused to include any requirement to verify signatures, identities, or even determine whether they're eligible or ineligible to vote. People are walking in there. They have no idea. They're just taking numbers. They're writing down things, the workers, and doing a lot of bad things.
Is he wrong? There's the president of the United States. Listen, he's going to fight back. Trump campaign lawyers there in Pennsylvania, across the country, trying to win some legal battles. Some have been won. Some haven't, but they continue to fight, and we should as well. This election is not over by any stretch of the imagination. We continue to fight. And so where are we right now? Well, unfortunately, if you're looking at some of the numbers, we're starting to see the president's lead dwindling down in some cases, and in some cases now flipped. Now, do you believe it? Well, we're going to find out. You've got the president down to about, less than 20,000 votes now, lead in Pennsylvania as we speak. In the state of Georgia now, Joe Biden takes like a 1,000 vote lead. Is that right? Or an 800 vote lead in Georgia? How in the world did that happen? And in North Carolina, the numbers are getting closer and closer. We're talking about the difference of 80,000 votes with 94% total reports in. And how all of this is playing out this way. Questions? Do we get to take this to court? Do we get to lawyer up and do exactly what the Democrats would have done if they weren't trying to steal? I mean, if they weren't trying to fight everything from the beginning when it comes to this election? Do we get to do that? Do we get to lawyer up? You bet we do. Do we get to look into this? Sure. Do the American people need to know exactly what's going on? I'm assuming that if you're a Democrat, that you want transparency as well. Oh, we got transparency. The president's losing. Don't you understand it? They're No, I don't. Because I see a lot of evidence. Quite the contrary. President brought this up yesterday, by the way.
These really phony polls, I have to call them phony polls, fake polls, were designed to keep our voters at home, create the illusion of momentum for Mr. Biden, and diminish Republicans' ability to raise funds. They were what's called suppression polls. Everyone knows that now. And it's never been used to the extent that it's been used on this last election.
Suppression polls. What is the president talking about when he brings that up? Is he allowed to do that? Yeah, he is. And when he brings that up, the left is all upset about it. They don't like it. What does the left do? They say suppression polls and how dare the president say this? There's Anderson Cooper. He's completely upset by this. And what did he say?
Presented at all. Nothing. No real actual evidence of any kind of fraud. He talked about people putting up papers in windows. He talked about things that he'd seen on the internet.
Yeah, guess what? That is real. The paper on windows, that was witnessed on the internet. Nobody is questioning that was taking place. They're only questioning whether or not it's okay for Democrats to do it. But if Republicans were doing that, there would be outrage. And then Anderson Cooper says,
that is the president of the United States. That is the most powerful person in the world. And we see him like an obese turtle on his back, flailing in the hot sun, realizing his time is over.
Really, which is quite ironic. His time is over, talking about CNN and how fake news is over. That is rich coming from a network whose time has expired as far as trust or what they are trying to do. Voter suppression. Do you see that? Is that voter suppression? To call the president a flailing turtle on his back, realizing that his time is over? Is that journalism? What is that from CNN? Well, it's exactly what you would expect. But when the president says voter suppression, remember something that is critical in what has always been the case, what has happened here in this election cycle, And if allowed to continue, what will happen on the other side? And it's this. When you constantly hear about pollsters who, for the most part, are not pollsters, they're operatives, they're Democrat operatives, and the networks that go along with it. When they say, Biden's up by 10, Biden's up by 17, Biden's up by 8, Biden's up by 5, state of Florida, Biden is way ahead. It looks like it's going to be a blue wave. We're going to have all kinds of things happening for the Democrat Party. It's going to be fantastic. When the media continues to do that for a year and presses that on and on and on and on and on, and every single poll and every single place you go, you see Biden up 10, Biden up 8, but the reason why that is suppression is because ultimately there are people who are deciding whether or not they're going to vote and say to themselves, why am I even going to bother to do this? He's going to lose. Why bother standing on this line if it's going to be an hour, if all the polls are suggesting it's going to be a blowout? That's suppression. And that's what the media has done for far too long. And now they're called out, and now we realize it, and now all the things that we talked about behind closed doors, we talk about outside, and we scream it out loud, that we know what you're doing. We see it now. Well, we've always known. It's just that now because of, let's be honest, because of this president, we have the confidence to stand up and say enough is enough, because if he's going to fight, we're going to fight. If we see the problem, if he sees the problem, we see the problem. If he's willing to fight this, we're willing to fight. We are, right? And again, what is the important aspect of the fight here? The important aspect of the fight is not necessarily this president. It's allowing this to take place, just like we were fighting against the Russian collusion hoax and the impeachment that turned out to be the Ukrainian issue of Joe Biden and not the Ukrainian issue of Donald Trump. That we're done taking this lying down anymore. We're not doing it. And that we recognize it. And that it should not happen in the future any longer. Like, this can't be the norm. The norm can't be that in 2022, when we have an important election here in the state, in 2024, the next time we go to the polls for a presidential election, that we believe that this can happen exactly the same way. That the new norm now is states that are run by Democrats, radicals, will now wait until the very last minute to see how the Republicans did so that they can find the votes to win a state. Oh, that's an outrageous statement. Is it? Is it? 239-479-5592. Your thoughts this morning. Love to hear from you. Coming up at 7:50, Drew's College of Political Knowledge. By the way, at 7 o'clock, we're going to replay the interview from yesterday with Steve Deace. Pretty powerful. And a lot of people asked for that, so you'll get a chance to hear it. Also, want to remind you about 10,000 for the troops. We are doing it once again. 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. Yes, I know there's a lot going on in your life. Yes, we have an election that is right now so confusing and has stressed out people, frayed people's nerves to no end. But if you're looking for something positive, if you're looking for something that is a good thing and something that you want to focus on outside of all of this, please remember the men and women who are serving overseas to protect this country, and to remember them and to know that they will not be with their families for the holidays. And so something I can tell you, and last year, hand delivering cards to our troops in Germany, when I flew to Germany last year to do that, I cannot tell you how appreciative they were in person, face to face, eye to eye. It means a lot. 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. If you go to our Facebook page, the address is there, and it's there from last year as well. It's the same one. All right. You want to go to some calls? Sure. All right. Bob. Bob's in Naples. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Drew. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I wanted to ask you about, I was getting in my van this morning, and I caught a tail end of some kind of little snippet about the the 10,000 for the troops voting. Did that apply to Georgia, or where exactly did that apply?
The 10,000 for the troops is, all right. Well, do you not know what 10,000 for the troops is? Maybe I should explain it once again for those that are new listeners. 10,000 for the troops each and every year during Christmas. It's outside of what's going on here in the country. Follow this. No worries. I should explain because we have so many new listeners that are coming in to this program and so many listeners that are coming into the station that I should explain. 10,000 for the troops. What we do each and every Christmas, we ask you to send a Christmas card to the address, P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. And every year we try to get 10,000 Christmas cards that we send overseas to our men and women serving that will not be home for the holidays. And so each and every year we do it. We try to get 10,000. We have a deadline of the first week of December. I believe December 5th is the deadline, so that we'll have enough time to get them on transport, to get them out to all over the globe. And last year I had a chance to go to Germany to Ramstein and deliver them personally. And so this year, obviously, it's a little bit different, but we want to get those cards out to the troops. So that's what 10,000 for the troops is all about.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just walked into it and I was like, what? I mean, I'm so
I know.
disgusted by what I see in Georgia. And of course, you know, honestly, I knew something was up when I saw Virginia called early. And then on top of it, you know, I told my wife, I said, I'm an Italian. We read things way beforehand. And when Schumer was running his mouth about, you know, the Republicans are going to regret this when they confirmed Amy Coney Barrett, I said, listen to the narrative. Yeah. I said, they are up to something. I said, the liberals don't know enough to shut their mouths. They talk too much and they tip their hand. And I said, they're up to no good.
Well, I'll tell you something else, Bob, to your point and then some. I might take issue with one thing that you said, and it's this. They don't have a problem tipping their hand. They don't have a problem telling you to your face what they're going to do because they know because they know that you will not stop them. They know that they've got, in some cases, they have federal judges. They have Supreme Court judges in places like Pennsylvania. And Bob, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Witness to what changes they made in Pennsylvania, places like Arizona and areas where they were just changing laws on the fly before the election. That they know for the longest time that Republicans were not going to fight, not the president of the United States, but the Republicans that are out there. Like, where's Mitch McConnell on the steps of right now in the steps of Congress, stepping out with a press conference, condemning everything that's going on? And where are other Republicans that are doing it? It seems like they're quite silent. They're going on some of the network shows and talking a tough game. But people want to see them out on the streets like they are. People want to see that they're out there ready for the fight. Are they? It's a good question. All right, quickly, let's go to Ruth. Ruth is in Cape Coral. Hey, Ruth.
Hey, Drew. Hi. How are you this morning?
A little frustrated, a little confused, a little sad. Although 10,000 for the troops makes me happy.
Oh, good. Yes. Dittos here. Anyways, I've got several points to bring up if I have time to do them.
All right. Well, I'm looking at the time, Ruth, and Jake says you've got time. If you want to hold past the break, we can do that.
Yes, that would be better.
All right, give me one point. Give me one quick point before we go to the break. Go ahead.
First point. Why can't we demand that there's a re-election in the states where fraud has been proven? I'll take you back to and I don't remember where the election was, but there was a congressional Republican that won his race, and because of ballot harvesting, they ran a re-election in that state.
Well,
okay?
First of all, you're going to have to prove fraud. The president is going to have to go to the courts and prove it. And the media and Democrats are not going to allow it to just say, "Oh, well, all right, you want to do it again? Let's do it again," because they know that if they do it again, they lose.
Oh, I realize that, yeah. But from what I understood from Pam Bondi, they have several whistleblowers that have come forward from the post office.
Right, and they're going to have to go to the courts. They'll have to go to the courts with them. They can't just say it. They'll have to prove it in front of a court.
Right.
So we'll see.
But that can happen if it's
sure.
documented and it's true.
Yeah.
They can demand a re-election. Correct.
I don't know the answer to that. I have to be honest. I'm not sure that that's how it's going to work. I think if you're looking for an election again to take place, I don't think you're going to get that. Not in a presidential election. Not the way it has been laid out here. I wouldn't hope for that. Hold on a second. Stay there, Ruth. Stay right there. All right, let's take a break. By the way, when we come back, we've got that interview with Steve Deace and more of your calls coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. Before the election, a drive-by media hyped the blue wave that was about to sweep America. The Republican Senate was going to fall as well-funded Democrats knocked off Susan Collins, Lindsey Graham, Joni Ernst, and others. The Democrats were going to drive deep into the Republican heartland. They were going to pack the House of Representatives with so many new Democrats that Republicans might as well not even bother showing up in January. Well, something went horribly wrong. In Florida, 2 first-term Democrat House members lost their seats, including the Clinton hack Donna Shalala. Republican women won at least 5 House seats. Votes are still being counted. Not a single Republican incumbent was picked off by Democrats. Now, in the Senate, story isn't over, but despite never being up in a single poll, Susan Collins was easily reelected. Lindsey Graham, badly outspent, won his seat. Joni Ernst won hers. And in Alabama, Republicans picked up a Senate seat with Tommy Tuberville. So the polls were wrong again. And the worst polls were those put out by media outlets. The pundits were wrong again. More African American and Hispanics voted Republican than in 60 years. More Republican women were elected. So there wasn't a blue wave. There was never going to be a blue wave. The truth is, you can't count on the media for the truth about anything anymore. There is a way for you to save more than $400 a year on your cell phone bill by switching from your current cell phone carrier to Pure Talk. Now look at your last cell phone bill. What was your data usage? The average monthly usage is less than 2 gigs of data a month. But so many people are being charged for unlimited data. Switch to Pure Talk and pay for just what you need. How about unlimited talk, text, and 2 gigs of data, $20 a month? And if you go over on data usage, they don't charge you for it. Switching to Pure Talk is the easiest decision you will make today. Grab your mobile phone and dial pound 250 and say Pure Talk. That's all you do. Grab the mobile phone, dial pound 250 and say Pure Talk. When you do, you'll save 50% off your first month. Again, dial pound 250 and say keywords Pure Talk. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text from Pure Talk USA.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
Hello, Southwest Florida. I'm Anthony with the American Tradesman Show, and my guest, Gerald Prevett from B&K Water Extraction and Mold Services, and his brother Brian Prevett from Prevett Plumbing, and my partner Juan Silva from American Electrical. Join us each week, Saturday mornings between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., where we talk about something new in the construction field, educating you on anything with the new codes, new requirements, and also the materials and the products that we use on these shows. So we look forward to you listening to our show. God bless America and Semper Fi. Hoorah!
And now a word from Dr. Johnston at 596 BACK.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News coming up. Our interview yesterday with Steve Deace. A lot of you asked if we could play it again. It's coming up in just a few more minutes. If you missed it, it was pretty incredible. So that's on the way, plus your calls, 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This planet is so gorgeous and so incredibly beautiful that I can't get enough of it. I just can't. I did 950 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail and then decided I wanted to go hike in the Himalayas. I was not 20 years old. I was 64 years old. And the Good Feet was with me all the way.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Dale actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
Your passion's important, but if your body aches and if your heel feels like you've got a nail stuck in it and won't come out, trust me, it's going to wear you down. The Good Feet store knew what they were talking about and took the time to really dial in what I needed. At 64 years of age, I hiked 84 miles in the Himalaya and to do it pain-free. You think I'm not grateful for arch supports from Good Feet? I mean, come on. I'm Dale, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Despite more than 6,000 new cases reported across our state yesterday and more than 100,000 cases across the country, tourism is picking up in Lee County. A new report from the county shows more than half the tourists they talked with feel comfortable traveling again and visiting places like the beach. People in long-term care facilities are allowed to enjoy their families outside of their facility over the holidays. The Agency for Healthcare Administration in Florida says people in long-term care facilities must be allowed to leave for holiday visits if they'd like to. Those who choose to leave must wear a mask and will be screened when they return. The family of Lauren DeMolo hired a private investigator to help her case. DeMolo was last seen June 19th at her apartment on Coronado Parkway in Cape Coral. Still no winner in the race for president. As of early this morning, Joe Biden took a lead in Georgia. The former vice president's also leading in Nevada. The president was leading in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. The person responsible for putting hate signs on the FGCU campus has been caught. President Mike Martin sent an email to staff and students saying they found the person responsible after reviewing their license plate registration. That person has no relation to the campus. They received a trespass warning. FGCU is one of 6 women's teams in the Gulf Coast Showcase nicknamed the Beach Bubble. Like the NBA's bubble, teams will follow testing and social distancing protocols. No fans will be allowed in the stands, but there will be a live stream. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
It's that time of morning on your Friday morning commute on Daniels Extension. Very packed heading towards Gateway Boulevard. Also delays building on Ortiz heading south to MLK Boulevard. And commuters on the interstate, we are still up to speed, just packed, making the southbound commute towards Bonita Beach Road. Collier County, traffic is slowing down on Green Boulevard heading east to 951. And slowdowns as well on Immokalee Road between 951 and Logan. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
85 degrees for your Friday. Few showers possible, but limited, as we see a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Chance of rain Saturday, then we watch the progress and the potential for rain and wind associated with Ada Sunday through Tuesday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
Movember. What an interesting way to look at men's health through the lens of a mustache. You can start off clean-shaven and then proceed to grow your mustache as a way to celebrate men actually talking about their health. Yeah, talking. When it comes to erectile dysfunction, talking is a great start. When you talk about it, you're one step closer to solving it. The next step? Metro Men's Health. Call us today and schedule your free evaluation. And let's talk about your ED and how you, like thousands of men, can achieve consistent, longer-lasting results with the new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. So this Movember, grow your mustache for men's health, and then let Metro Men's Health help you grow your relationship. Mention mustache and get your evaluation free, $150 value. Call Metro Men's Health and schedule your free evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or metromenshealth.com.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? Tim Cooper at Health Plan Network can help. Tim has helped countless individuals and families here in the Fort Myers area save 30 to 60% on health insurance with super coverage. Tim recently saved a family of four $800 a month on their health insurance with a lower deductible. If you're uninsured, recently lost your job, on COBRA, or paying extreme rates for Obamacare or your work coverage, Tim will help you understand your options. If you meet the flexible guidelines for coverage, Health Plan Network will provide you the best coverage at the lowest rate. Their goal is to give you peace of mind and the utmost in healthcare. Go to healthplannetwork.net and see for yourself, or better yet, call Tim, an expert with 23 years experience at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Go to healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net. A premium personalized plan managed and designed by you, not the government.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, plus there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
If you weren't happy with the big media this election, you need to watch Newsmax TV, the fastest-growing TV channel in America. Find great shows with Greg Kelly, Mike Huckabee, Diamond and Silk, Michelle Malkin, and more. Plus, see analysts like Dick Morris, Sean Spicer, Alan Dershowitz, Rudy Giuliani, and Kimberly Guilfoyle. Newsmax TV is on all the major cable systems, or find it free on Roku, Zumo, YouTube, and more. Download the free Newsmax app on your phone and start watching today.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube. Anytime you want to watch Drew Steele Radio, please subscribe to the channel. Steele has 3 E's, by the way, just in the search bar. Also, if you text the word troops to 239-479-5592, you'll get the address, 10,000 for the troops, P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. We want to break it, the record this year. You know, and all the craziness that's happening. Let's not forget about our men and women serving overseas. It is that time of year. Christmas cards for our troops. If you would like to, you've been gathering it up maybe at your schools or your business. Well, text the word troops right now to 239-479-5592. You'll get the address to send those Christmas cards right now. We'll have more details on that coming up. But in the meantime, a lot of people asked about this interview that we did yesterday with Steve Deace from the Blaze TV. And yeah, it was pretty powerful. And let's get into that interview right now in case you missed it. Some of the things that we did discuss First, I asked Steve, I'm like, hey, listen, I got to be honest with you. Are we now done with the media and the fact that for far too long we've been allowing the media to call races, elections, and just believing whatever it is that they say? And for some reason, we just have been going along with this. Do you have a problem with this? Is it safe to say that for far too long we've been allowing the media to be the ones, the arbiters of calling races in this country?
I think that is the kindest way to describe what's currently going on.
Yeah.
So congratulations. I mean, you mastered the euphemism this early in the morning. That's a polite assessment.
Yeah.
But I don't even know why we need the media to call elections at all. I mean, if I'm watching a football game on Saturday, do I need an announcer in the middle of the third quarter to call it? Or do I just need him to call the game and let me watch the results playing out on the field?
Yeah.
Same thing happens here. We have all the technology in the world. Everybody's got a device. Everybody's got a television. We can watch these results occur in real time unless you're in a boarded up a facility in Detroit where they're, shall we say, procuring votes. Barring that, the rest of us can actually watch the tabulations in real time. Why don't we just do that? Why do we need them to call races at all? And then if they want to get into, hey, these are the counties that are still outgoing that traditionally vote for one side or the other. Here's the path forward for somebody to win. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it could be rather difficult, blah, blah, blah. You want to do your analysis then, that's fine. But frankly, what went on Friday or Tuesday night, and I think every network, Fox News included, practiced voter suppression on Tuesday night in Arizona. I don't think there's any question about that. And then what went on in Virginia, I was losing my mind over that.
So were we. So were we. I was screaming. I couldn't believe they were calling.
Win, but when a guy's up by 300,000 votes with over half of the precincts counted, you cannot call a state. And then what happened is at 12:30 Eastern time, a local television reporter cited that they had overcounted Biden's sample by 100,000 votes. And then the Secretary of State's website went dark for hours. And then we were just told the next day, Biden went ahead and won Virginia. I mean, this entire process is somewhere from idiotic to shady.
Yep.
And neither one of those options is good.
Yeah. You know, I wonder if, and before we get into some of the numbers that you're seeing right now, and we talk about Arizona and Michigan and what is going on with the campaign, the Trump campaign and lawsuits, I have to ask you this. Is this a year? I mean, certainly 2020 has been quite a year anyway, but this presidency has led to some of the things that we are witnessing right now when it comes to fighting back, when it comes to questioning some of the things that for the longest time we've been used to and accepting. That no matter how you look at this presidency and how you look at Donald Trump as president of the United States, personally or politically, the one thing I think we have to take away is, does any other Republican question the way we do right now? Or does a different Republican say, well, I guess we fight another day and we just take our ball and go home? I think, if anything, we have to make that realization right now, do we not?
I agree with you, Drew. I think, you know, the current political era we're in with two major parties really dates back to 1880, post-Reconstruction in America. Since then, every candidate that has won Ohio and Florida but one has won the presidency. The one exception prior to what's going on this year right now is Richard Nixon in 1960. And that is considered by many people the most contested, challenged, corrupt, questionable election in that era until the Florida recount year because of what went on with Kennedy and the mob in Cook County in Illinois. And you know, Nixon said after that election, hey, I don't accept the results, but we have to move on as a country and unify. Well, first of all, we were a lot more culturally aligned as a people back then. Secondly, Nixon had future political aspirations and didn't want to make it look like, he was being a tool. So he went away and then came back and tried to run for governor of California unsuccessfully. This is a different cat in Donald Trump. Yep. He doesn't care about any of that. I mean, for Donald Trump, man, it is go big. He's Danny DeVito in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Hit me. It's just he's in this. It's go big or go home. I'm all in. I got Deuce 7 offsuit. All in. I got pocket aces. I'm all in. because I just think I'm swinging a bigger stick between my legs than you, and I think I've got more money than you, and that you'll buckle. And sometimes it works for him, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, if you call his bluff, a lot of times you can beat him. But frankly, most people don't have the stones to call his bluff, and that's why he wins.
Yeah.
Well, what's happening right here is that if this were a conventional Republican, even a good one, Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, they'd be toast right now.
Yep.
Toast.
Yeah, it's true.
The problem is, though, they're not up against that kind of guy. This is a game now of demagoguery, gaslighting, and that's his natural habitat, Drew. Yeah. He'd much rather fight a street fight like this than get involved with Mitch McConnell about the nuance and Paul Ryan about the nuances of which Obamacare repeals, and he doesn't care about any of that. This is different. And on stuff like that, I've seen it with my own eyes. He just delegates that stuff to people that gets involved, and then he says, hey, come back to me when you give me what will help me, what gives me the winning solution. This is different, though. This is now where he's going to be directly involved. He's going to get his hands dirty. He's the godfather in the back room here with stuff like this.
Yeah.
And it'll be fascinating to see, because what's going on right now is not a vote count or an election, but an operation. That's what's occurring here. And I think he still has 50-50 odds that he's going to beat this because he doesn't care. And when the Republicans buckle and Chris Wallace puts him on Fox News on Sunday and tries to convince them that, you know, the country has to move on, and they solemnly nod and say, yes, you know, you're right. He's not going to give a rip, because here's the worst case scenario for Donald Trump. The worst case scenario for Donald Trump is he loses the most questionable election of all time, salts the earth on his way out, spends the next 2 months just going Michael Corleone at the end of The Godfather 2, settling scores and firing people and starting independent counsels on Joe Biden, just insults the earth on the way out, then calls his buddy Chris Ruddy over at Newsmax and says, hey, let's go take out Fox News for how they knifed me in Arizona on election night. Mm-hmm. That's the worst case scenario for him. Yep. He's not getting out of here with anything worse than that.
Yeah.
So he's not. He doesn't care about a 2028 bid, or is he going to run for governor of his state next time, or will his consultants not be able to get jobs with other Republicans if they become so tainted as surrogates on the various networks? He doesn't care about any of that. He's going to the mattresses.
Yeah. Steve Deace joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Of course, you can check him out at the Blaze TV. He's got a great program. And as we were talking about what's going on right now and what is, obviously, it's been a coordinated operation. Dare I say the coordinated operation Plan B also might be the Senate. I don't know if I take anything for granted. I could see a whole lot of folks showing up in Georgia if it looks like Joe Biden's the president of the United States and it looks like the House stays the way it is. Obviously, it's going to. But then all of a sudden, the Senate, there are some races in question. I can see a Part B operation. But putting that aside for just a second, let's stick with the A. What do you think is going to shake out now? What do the numbers look like in some of these areas that many people are looking at and saying, well, hold on a second. Arizona got called. I'm starting to see some things coming out. Michigan, what's going on in Michigan? What do you see happening now, and how could this play out possibly in Trump's favor?
I think the best case scenario for Trump to win is to win Arizona naturally, meaning just win the vote count, right. and not have to rely on any kind of a recount or court action. Because I think he's ultimately still going to win Georgia and North Carolina. So if he wins Arizona naturally, then you're looking at a situation where it's hand-to-hand combat for one of those Rust Belt states. Wisconsin is trying to tell you that it has 90% voter turnout across the state. Okay,
Steve, that's the kind of passion people have for Joe Biden.
The Minnesota numbers don't make any sense. They don't make any sense. The actual numbers in Minnesota are way overblew the exit polling. I know for a fact Joe Biden's people were losing their minds to MSNBC producers on election night that they were going to lose Minnesota, and then it didn't even look like it's contested. That to me looks like they just discovered a miraculous turnout model in a state, by the way, that couldn't stop its chief city from burning to the ground, yet somehow managed one of the greatest election models of all time. You look at what's going on in Michigan. What's funny is the Secretary of State's website there still lists Trump ahead by like 200,000 votes. with all but 2 counties reporting.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you what those 2 counties are, and right now they're trying to figure out how do we get to the vote totals we need to win. I was on Blaze TV last night with David Barton from Wall Builders, who's working really closely with the GOP right now. And everybody has seen that spike graph. I think that's in Michigan, where 139,000 votes were dropped, and they were all for Joe Biden.
Right.
Barton tells me that the GOP attorneys on the ground in Michigan are saying that a lot of those ballots just were for Joe Biden. Nobody voted in the Senate race. Nobody voted for anything else. That a lot of the ballots were just for Joe. And there was, remember in your state, Drew, we had to have a recount because Nimrods in Palm Beach County accidentally voted for Pat Buchanan. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we remember.
So you mean to tell me 139,000 people all correctly voted and accurately in a row, no mistakes, and then a bunch of them didn't vote for any other office holder, as Joe Biden would say, "Come on, man." Okay. and then there is Pennsylvania, which is a poop show with a sociopathic governor and a mentally ill health minister and an attorney general who is essentially a Marxist activist. And I've always been concerned the election was going to come down to that state, and it would make what happened in your state look like what happened in your state Tuesday night, where somehow you guys can have the most contested swing state in the country, the most expensive swing state in the country, but your governor doesn't take any crap.
Yep.
Your governor cleans these people out. Your governor's like, we're not playing that game here. And so somehow they get a turnout model in a bunch of states that Trump already won before, and that they can't pull off in Florida, where the average election margin in the last 7 presidential elections until this year was just 2.5 points.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. And that's because what's going on here is a coup.
That was Steve Deace from Blaze TV on this program yesterday as we were talking about the situation. A lot of it is still the same, exactly the way he described it today. Some of it is changing. Now we come to find out that all of a sudden, magically, Joe Biden's ahead in Georgia. All right, well, we still have provisional ballots to count there, military ballots to count. So hopefully that will change things in Georgia. But it's anybody's guess the way the Democrats are playing this out. In Pennsylvania, some of the ridiculous things that are happening that we're going to get to some of the audio coming up. And to Steve's point, Steve Deace, who joined us yesterday, how does it happen? How does it happen that Joe Biden has so many more votes than Democrat senators in swing states? To his point, and the evidence is there. How is it that Joe Biden wins a state like Michigan and you have all of these votes that come in, but somehow the numbers are not even close to being the same for the Democrat who was running for the Senate against John James? That would be Gary Peters. Somehow, Joe Biden has all these numbers, this 2,787,000 at last count, but Gary Peters has less than that. Typically, you have down ballot voting going on when you have somebody voting for president, but somehow there's 50 to 100,000 votes that didn't go for the Democrat in the Senate race, one of the most contested and one of the most talked about Senate races. How does that happen? How is that even possible? Well, we know how that's possible. And that's not the only place that it's happened. So there are a lot of questions, including in Georgia. They're saying it's even worse in Georgia. I mean, and look at what's going on right now, where I said this, we talked about it, I mentioned it to Steve Deace yesterday, and I'm sticking with it today. Where many people are concerned about the presidential race, and as very well you should be, and the president needs to fight back, and he is, and just put it out on display and lay all of this out bare, as disgusting and ugly as it is. But if Joe Biden ultimately does become president of the United States, already the setup is in place for not one, but 2 Senate seats in the state of Georgia to possibly flip Democrat. If that happens, your firewall for the Senate is gone. And you don't think that they would be willing to push that as well come January 5th when that runoff happens between those 2 Senate seats, between the Democrat and Republican and those 2 Senate seats? What kind of effort they will put forward? Forget about the money. what kind of shenanigans they would pull in January to get those 2 seats so that ultimately they will be able to push an agenda forward. Be very worried about everything that is happening, but be very aware of it. It's not over yet. But certainly we have to call out things the way they are and ask you Democrats, please call this program, 239-479-5592. Where are you with transparency? You feel comfortable with the Joe Biden victory this way? Is this what you want for the country leading into the future? Is it all about you winning and that's it? And everything else be damned? I'm asking. 10,000 for the troops is happening, everybody. Christmas cards, warm Christmas messages for our men and women serving overseas. 10,000 for the troops, P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. It is happening right now. Get your cards together, and in case you want the address, just text the word troops to 239-479-5592. It is that time of year, so let's get this going and make it bigger and better than ever, especially considering everything that's happening. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South makes windows that are energy efficient and hurricane resistant. You get both. If you have aluminum windows, it's time to get rid of yesterday's technology. New South is the factory and eliminates the middleman. Don't even think of buying windows until you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
For a limited time only, save 40% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
When you think RV, think La Mesa RV. Our everyday low price is posted on every RV. Top brands like Winnebago, Fleetwood, and Integra. From sporty Mercedes-powered motorhomes to luxury diesel pushers, every RV in stock is discounted. If you've been thinking about the RV lifestyle, think La Mesa RV. I-75 at Luckett Road in Fort Myers or lamesarv.com.
Do you think all vitamin C's are the same? They're not. Ester C is a superior form of vitamin C. It's the only vitamin C with 24-hour immune support, and it lasts up to 2 times longer than regular vitamin C. So don't just settle for any vitamin C. Buy Ester C and support your immune health today. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter finds the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists.
And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshares. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, well, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sounds crazy, right? Well, the crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-780-5959. 800-780-5959. 800-780-5959.
Do you need help caring for an aging loved one? Get the support you need to keep them safely at home with Hope Pace, a program of all-inclusive care for the elderly. Hope Pace helps seniors as well as their caregivers and families. They provide medical care, transportation, and support by phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call them today at 239-985-2499 or visit hopepace.org. That's 239-985-2499. 985-2499 or hopepace.org.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Naples, and Marco Island with 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
Hey, Mom, I'm here to drive you to your doctor's appointment.
Oh, we finished early.
What do you mean?
With my Humana Medicare Advantage plan, telehealth appointments with my doctor are covered.
Wow, that's great.
Well, that's human care for you. Humana wants its members to get the care they need, even at home.
Humana offers new ways to focus on your health at home. Because Humana isn't just health care, it's human care. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO, PPO, and PFFS organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Despite more than 6,000 new cases reported across our state yesterday and more than 100,000 cases across the country, tourism is picking up in Lee County. A new report from the county shows more than half the tourists they talked with feel comfortable traveling again and visiting places like the beach. People in long-term care facilities are allowed to enjoy their families outside of their facility over the holidays. The Agency for Healthcare Administration in Florida says people in long-term care facilities must be allowed to leave for holiday visits if they'd like to. Those who choose to leave must wear a mask and will be screened when they return. The family of Lauren DeMolo hired a private investigator to help her case. DeMolo was last seen June 19th at her apartment on Coronado Parkway in Cape Coral. Still no winner in the race for president. As of early this morning, Joe Biden took a lead in Georgia. The former vice president's also leading in Nevada. The president was leading in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. The person responsible for putting hate signs on the FGCU campus has been caught. President Mike Martin sent an email to staff and students saying they found the person responsible after reviewing their license plate registration. That person has no relation to the campus. They received a trespass warning. FGCU is one of 6 women's teams in the Gulf Coast Showcase nicknamed the Beach Bubble. Like the NBA's bubble, teams will follow testing and social distancing protocols. No fans will be allowed in the stands, but there will be a live stream. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
Traffic slowing on Ben Hill heading south towards Corkscrew Road. Also a very busy morning on Williams heading east to Three Oaks. There is a delay on Three Oaks heading northbound towards Alico Road. Now, if you're on the interstate, great commute, just the normal morning rush underway, heading to and from Lee and Charlotte. Also, commuters in Cape Coral, traffic is still delayed on the Midpoint Bridge, slowing traffic southbound on Del Prado, heading to Veterans Parkway. That's your Up to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
85 degrees for your Friday. Few showers possible, but limited, as we see a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Chance of rain Saturday, then we watch the progress and the potential for rain and wind associated with Ada Sunday through Tuesday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour. The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
Sometimes you want to get things done fast. There's a lot of things in your life you would like to happen in a hurry. How about getting that water that's coming out of your faucet fixed? Have great tasting water instead of water that tastes bad like chlorine or chemicals. You thought about what it's doing to your skin or hair? Well, you hear me talk about Pelican Water, Pelican now Pentair Water Solutions. You can take care of your home's water today by calling Max. Make the call. Thousands of people already have done this. Make the call today. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet with your new Pentair water treatment system. And there's a big difference when it comes to Pentair water specialists, trained, Pentair certified, uniform, local experts like Max. He's awesome. They use state-of-the-art Pentair water tests, so you can see what's in your water right there on the spot. The mobile showroom, you'll have a wider range of options to see in front of you, and they can maintain your system for you with their white glove service. Look, get it done now. Get it done fast. Call now for your free Pentair water test and save 15% on your whole home water system. Here's the number, 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799, or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
For perfect air and better health, call AC by Florida Comfort Systems. They're offering up to $13.50 in rebates plus payments as low as $132 a month on a new Linux system. Call AC by Florida Comfort Systems at 239-774-5501 today. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number CAC 057065.
Hundreds of happy customers all across Southwest Florida have already gotten the full original base MSRP for their trade-in. It's not too late for you to do the same, but only if you come see us here at Naples Nissan. Yes, you can still bring us that 5, 6, 7-year-old car you're driving now, and we'll pay you the same price that you paid for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Yeah, so whatever it was worth back in 2014, that's exactly what it'll be worth now. But only at Naples Nissan. We don't care where you bought it from or if it was already used when you bought it. If it's a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, we're paying you the full original base MSRP for it. Go to naplesnissan.com and pick out your favorite new Nissan model, then come see us on Pine Ridge Road so you can drive home in that brand new Nissan today. Get all the details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Dr. Shane Walker here at Thrive Chiropractic and host of the Wellness Hour on 92.5 Fox News for nearly 20 years. And let's face it, many of us are really stressed right now, and that is creating an increase in the number of folks who are dealing with neck pain, headaches, tension across the upper mid-back, anxiety and nervousness. And if you haven't experienced the release of tension that a chiropractic adjustment can produce within your nervous system, go to thrivenaples.com. That's Thrive, Thrive, Naples.com for a special offer. That's thrivenaples.com.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Don't forget 10,000 for the troops. We're doing it once again. Of course we're going to do it. We are not going to forget about our men and women serving overseas. Not going to happen. Of course, for Christmas, many of them are not going to be able to be with their families, but a chance for you to send a warm message to our men and women serving. All you have to do is send that card or letter as you usually do. Hopefully you know, 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. You can also text the word troops to 239-479-5592, and we will send you the address so you'll be able to send it. But we have a shortened season this year, so I think the first week, December 5th, I believe is the last day that we'll be able to get those cards out to make sure they're there in time for Christmas, as you can understand with everything that's going on. So please, your business, your group, organization, your school, get them together and send them now. 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. All right, we're going to get back to your calls in just a second, but I did want to talk to Spencer Roach, State Representative Spencer Roach, because there are a lot of things that are going on here in the state after this election, an election that seemed to go pretty smooth here in the state of Florida. It's amazing, Spencer Roach, how when you have certain states, how things get a little crazy, a little weird. But here in the state of Florida, election day, we have the results, we know what's going on, and there's a lot to discuss. So let's get right to it. How are you this morning?
Drew, I am fantastic. Top of the morning to you. And I know while there are still lots of questions about what's happening in the presidential race, there is absolutely no question about what has happened here in Florida. It was a resounding red wave. Florida, I'm proud to say, is no longer considered by any reputable media outlet as a swing state. We are now solidly in the red column. We just delivered an absolute rout to the Democrat Party establishment on Tuesday. We flipped a total of 5 seats in the Florida House, maintained our majority in the Senate. We now have a bulletproof supermajority in the Florida House. And a lot of that happened in Democrat-heavy districts that Democrats were confident they were going to win.
Yeah, I know that they were talking about it, how they were saying things about this blue wave, Andrew Gillum, and all the millions of people that he's going to get out there to get the vote out, and that fell flat. And I think that speaks volumes to the success of the governor, the success of the legislature, and the good things that are happening here in the state, and people across the state have certainly recognized it. Boy, there was a lot of money spent, too. I mean, how much are we talking about here in the state? It was tens of millions of dollars, even Michael Bloomberg's money. I mean, it was crazy, right?
Yeah, Drew, so that's a good point. So the Democrat Party, big Democrat Party, spent about $20 million just to try and flip and maintain 5 House seats here in the Florida legislature, and they lost big. And I think, what is so surprising for many people, and what I think the Democrats are still not getting is even now, sort of post-mortem, they're talking about how they failed to get out the vote efforts, and they're pointing fingers at party leadership, but they're missing the key fact that their message is just wrong for Florida families, and it scares the hell out of Floridians across both party lines and demographic lines. And we see that in Miami-Dade County, which is largely considered, a Democrat stronghold. It's 70% Hispanic. And Hillary Clinton carried that area by about 30 points, and Biden only carried it by 8. And we ousted 2 incumbent congressional members down there, Democrats, that are now replaced by Republicans. It's just unbelievable that they're continuing to refuse to recognize that their message of increased governmental control, confiscatory tax policy, calls to defund the police, calls to change our framework about packing the Supreme Court and adding 4 new senators via statehood for D.C. and Puerto Rico. They just can't seem to understand that their open embrace of socialism is scaring the hell out of voters.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And, we were going to have certainly more time to speak about the legislative session that, believe it or not, is coming up really soon. Hard to believe we're already at that time of year. Of course, 10,000 for the troops. It's hard to believe it's that time of the year as well. But certainly the future here in the state of Florida when it comes to the Republican Party, and quite honestly, for Floridians and how you view it right now, even leading into the legislature, some of the positive things that we can look forward to in quite a crazy year of this election cycle.
Yeah, and Drew, just one thing to add, media outlets and political pundits all over the United States are now referring to Florida as the future of the Republican Party. And it's clear that at least here in Florida, the Republican Party has now become the party of working middle-class families and minorities and all people who value a life free from government control. And at the same time, you're seeing the Democrat Party that's narrowing to a party of white, wealthy, coastal liberal elites who've never lived under socialism but want to impose a radical new system of government for everyone else. And I think that is truly the future of the Republican Party. We're winning.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Spencer Roach joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Congratulations on your victory. Of course, here in the state legislature is going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward. I want to have you back to talk more details as we get through what we're going through right now, certainly. So all the best, Spencer. Thanks for a few minutes.
Thank you, Drew. Have a great day.
All right, we'll see you soon. 239-479-5592. Want to get to your calls. A lot of people are holding. Want to talk about what's going on right now and a couple of things that we know. We know Lindsey Graham has decided he's going to step up with a huge donation to the president's legal fees, which is a good thing. How are other Republicans stepping up? I'm waiting to hear from some, hear their voices louder than we're hearing them right now. A little concerned about that. Donald Trump Jr. making a great point on Twitter. There's more evidence, infinitely more evidence right now of voter fraud that's going on than there ever was of a Russian collusion hoax. But for some reason, the media doesn't want to cover that because, well, we know where the media stands and how they're helping to drag Joe Biden and states along the finish line so that ultimately it's going to be harder for courts to side with what the media has told the country is the winner, Joe Biden, if they can do this. Remember, if the media can say Joe Biden is, we're calling Arizona, we're calling Pennsylvania for Joe Biden, congratulations, he's the president of the United States, and everybody's like, whoa, the process, hold on a second, we're going to the courts. Remember, the courts read papers, they talk to family members, they know what's going on. As much as you'd like to think they're impartial and they've got blinders on with what's happening across the country, That's a tough call. And you're putting pressure on them as well, and even in the Supreme Court. And I worry about that pressure. And I wonder what you think. 239-479-5592. I worry about a Senate race, 2 Senate races in Georgia that are too close to call, that are going to have runoffs possibly on January 5th. And guess what happens then? Because if those 2 seats flip, we're in trouble, everybody, because now all of a sudden the Senate is not in the hands of Republicans. Is that what's going to happen? Do we worry about that? All right, let's go to calls. Let's see. We'll go to Greg. Greg's in Fort Myers. Hey, Greg.
Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, sir.
We ought to use a little bit of the other side's playbook. I mean, Hillary Clinton said, "Joe, don't you concede." And I think everybody in the Republican Party needs to have that same outcry for President Trump.
I agree.
I think they need to get behind this president. But you don't hear them. You hear Lindsey Graham. You hear Tom Cotton a little bit. You're hearing a little bit. Where's everybody else?
Well,
Everyone else that this man's been fighting this nonsense for 4 years. This is absolutely incredible. And they're going to keep finding these ballots till they get those 2 Senate seats and they defeat the president.
Yeah. Listen, I agree on some of the things you're saying, and I'll even amplify them a little bit on some things that are disturbing to me as well, which is this. I don't see that there are people, like I said, like Mitch McConnell standing on the steps there at the Senate and denouncing what's going on and press conferences and people all together. And I'm going to make a suggestion here that is an awful suggestion that I hate to say, that is all the more reason that we need to fight for the president of the United States. And it's this. You ready, Greg? It's just the two of us. Here we go. Ready? I brought this up earlier. If Joe Biden becomes president of the United States, and the Senate stays the way it is, and the House of Representatives stays the way it is, who is the most powerful person in the United States government?
At that point in time, it's going to have to be the Senate because they're the only they'll be the only wall.
Who's the most powerful person in the United States of America? The answer is Mitch McConnell. Because Mitch McConnell holds the keys to everything. If Joe Biden is the president, the Senate is held by Republicans, and the House of Representatives is held by Democrats, he becomes the most powerful person in the United States, more powerful than the president. And that's why, and this is my fear, Greg. That's why I'm worried about Mitch McConnell not being out and fighting for the president.
Wow, you're right. You're right. That is almost shocking.
Listen, I could be.
Seats are imperative.
Well, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Now, right, exactly. So we get down to, and thanks for the call. I appreciate it. So we get down to some other parts of this, right? Which is, Mitch McConnell better be careful what he wishes for. If what I'm saying is true, which, by the way, it is, he does become the most powerful. He stops a Biden agenda. Period. He is the go-between. He is the firewall. He's it. But be careful, because if you're not fighting for the president, and you're not fighting for the United States, and you're not fighting for the rule of law, and you're not fighting for transparency in this election, you think that the Democrats are going to be settled and happy with Joe Biden being the president, and that's it? They have a chance, a legitimate chance to take the Senate as well, pulling the same kind of shenanigans in Georgia. You don't think they'll take that? I'm just asking. I mean, I hate to say, okay, so here's Todd. This is what I love. Here's Todd and Bonita. All right, Todd, hit me.
Hey.
Say it.
Hey,
just
Drew,
say it.
I'm trying to focus on the positives, but the only ones I have right now is we won Florida and we got Byron Donalds. But I totally agree with you. I think they had the end game since they lost the last election, and we're seeing it now. And
well, this is why we fight. This is why we fight.
Hoping we can do it.
Yeah. And so, if you're looking for words of encouragement, here's your words of encouragement. Number one. Every single person in this country, left, right, radical, conservative, understands what's going on. the veil has been pulled back, and everybody sees the magician behind the veil. We all know what's going on. Every single person. So when you fight for this president, you're fighting for transparency. You're fighting to get rid of the banana republic that we are worried that we're falling into with this idea that now this is going to be the norm during an election. That what do? That we have 5 or 6 states that are run by radical Democrats that will have them sit and hang tight until election night is over and then try to pick votes enough to get their candidate. Is that the norm? No. We don't sit and accept that. That's number one. So the good news is that we see that. The second thing that you can take away that is some good news is that it's not over yet. It's not. And there are courts that we will go to, and there are fights that we will have, and there is transparency that's going to happen. So it's not over.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Drew, can I ask you one question?
No. I'm just kidding. Of course you can.
Okay.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
I'm just kind of wondering, has anybody ever won a recall vote, in a state? Has anybody ever won one?
Recalls? Sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of them go to Democrats. How do you suppose that works? All right. Well, listen, hang tight. Don't. Yeah. I know I should probably be hyping things up a little bit. All right. Here is a very, very good call from D right now in Estero. Something I was going to touch on, and I'm so glad you're bringing this up, D. Go ahead.
Hi, Drew. Yeah, I love your show. Where is the DOJ in all of this, and where is Barr in all of this? Why aren't they outraged over the criminality of what's happening in these progressive states? Clearly, everybody knows, including the Democrats. But we're just going to stand by and let this happen. And who allows these people, these lay people in Philadelphia, to restrain people from coming in and observing? What right do they have to do that? And what do we need to do as citizens to override these citizens who, in my opinion, have no really legal right to do what they're doing? We're always so placid and so nice. We're such gentlemen and ladies. Yeah. And I say, F that. Sorry.
Well, thanks.
No.
Okay. All right. So hang tight, D. All right. So I want you to hang tight because when we come back, we're going to do Drew's College of Political Knowledge. We got to kind of lighten things up a little bit here. Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. We'll have some fun in all of this. I know it's crazy. But on the other side, in the 8 o'clock hour, to D's point, Bill Barr did talk about this in September, and he was mighty ticked off about the prospects of what could happen. Almost very, very prescient. Like he knew exactly what was going to happen, and it did. So where is Bill Barr? Well, maybe we have that answer coming up. All right, 239-479-5592. Call right now, Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Call in number 5 at 239-479-5592. Next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
1 hour air conditioning and heating, always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1-HOUR.
Tee off for a great day of golf at Coral Oaks Golf Course in Cape Coral. Enjoy excellent playing conditions and a weekend special to play 18 holes for just $38 on Saturdays and Sundays after 11 a.m. Coral Oaks gift cards also make terrific holiday gifts for your favorite golfers. You can book tee times up to 7 days in advance and register for their upcoming charity golf fundraisers at coraloaksgolf.com. We'll see you at Coral Oaks, where every day is a great day.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana Kia.
It's our November clearance event at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. Every new Kia available with no money down and no payments till February 2021. Select models with no interest financing for 75 months. And exclusive of that offer, 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, $49 per month. That's right, $49 per month for a new car. 2020 Kia Rio LX, just $13,990. New Kia Sorento LX V6, $8,000 off. Plus, at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers, if you've got $500 down and you make at least $2,000 per month, our lenders can get you approved.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
24-month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 due at sign, plus tax, tag, title, dealer, and acquisition fee. 0 security deposit with lender approval expires month end.
Heroes nowadays can be anyone. And no, they don't have to fly, or have X-ray vision, or superhuman strength. See, in Naples, our heroes wear masks. They practice physical distancing. They wash their hands regularly. NCH Healthcare System and the City of Naples are counting on you to be a hero and wear a mask. Because in Naples, all heroes wear masks.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune in to WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney, Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m., right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Sean in Fort Myers. Hey, buddy.
Hello?
Hello, Sean. This is Drew. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, awesome. We're on the radio.
Oh, sweet.
Sweet. All right, it's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD. Your associate's degree question starts right now. Hey, do you remember George W. Bush? Remember him? He was president of the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember who the vice president was?
Oh.
That was Dick Cheney. It was Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney was the... Okay. Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney.
Dick Jamie, okay.
No, not Big Jamie. Dick Cheney. But that's okay. All right. All right. Let's do an associate's question on this one. Think about 2012. Do you remember the year 2012?
2012.
Remember Barack Obama was president of the United States? He's running for a second term. And there's somebody who wants to be the president of the United States on the Republican side in 2012. Who was that guy that was running for president then in 2012? Before Hillary and before Trump. Come on.
Yeah, that was Mitt Romney.
It is Mitt Romney. That is correct. We can accept that. All right. You got an associate's to see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Sean, the First Amendment. Are you familiar with the First Amendment to the Constitution? The First Amendment, Bill of Rights.
I'm familiar with it. Yes.
Awesome. All right. Hey, do you know one right or freedom that we enjoy in this country thanks to the First Amendment?
The freedom of speech, of course.
There you go. Look at you. All right, you got a bachelor's on Drew's College. Let's make this the last question. Let's see. Where is it? Here we go. Do you know when we elect a United States senator, and it's like, all right, we got a senator. We just elected a senator. How many years will that senator serve?
6 years.
That is correct, sir. Woo, look at you. Well, congratulations.
Look at me.
What's that?
Look at me.
Look at you. All right, Sean. Well, congratulations. You did well today. You feeling good?
Appreciate you, sir.
I appreciate you. I do.
Have a good one.
You do.
Appreciate the call.
I appreciate you calling me. You called us, but I appreciate the call. I do. I appreciate Sean. That was fun. All right. We're going to get to your calls, 239-479-5592. You could text the word troops right now. 10,000 for the troops. We are doing it once again, and we are going to talk about that coming up. Plus, where is Bill Barr?
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason.
Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
Today, people will wake up, and before the day is over, their life will be changed forever. Car crashes can't be predicted. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The law firm you choose to prepare you for life after today may well be the most important decision you ever make. All law firms are not the same. The insurance company knows who will take your case to trial and who won't. Visit forthepeople.com to learn more about us. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Despite more than 6,000 new cases reported across our state yesterday and more than 100,000 cases across the country, tourism is picking up in Lee County. A new report from the county shows more than half the tourists they talked with feel comfortable traveling again and visiting places like the beach. People in long-term care facilities are allowed to enjoy their families outside of their facility over the holidays. The Agency for Healthcare Administration in Florida says people in long-term care facilities must be allowed to leave for holiday visits if they'd like to. Those who choose to leave must wear a mask and will be screened when they return. The family of Lauren DeMolo hired a private investigator to help her case. DeMolo was last seen June 19th at her apartment on Coronado Parkway in Cape Coral. Still no winner in the race for president. As of early this morning, Joe Biden took a lead in Georgia. The former vice president also leading in Nevada. The president was leading in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. The person responsible for putting hate signs on the FGCU campus has been caught. President Mike Martin sent an email to staff and students saying they found the person responsible after reviewing their license plate registration. That person has no relation to the campus. They received a trespass warning. FGCU is one of 6 women's teams in the Gulf Coast Showcase nicknamed the Beach Bubble. Like the NBA's bubble, teams will follow testing and social distancing protocols. No fans will be allowed in the stands, but there will be a live stream. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
There's a crash on Alligator Alley at mile marker 73. Very active scene here. Fire truck, ambulance, trooper. Guys, really make sure to watch that speed as you are passing through, heading to the East Coast. Also a crash at Pine Chase and Three Oaks. This is to the north of Estero Parkway. No major backups here. But if you are in Estero, we're slammed on Corkscrew, heading out of Bellaterra all the way to Ben Hill at a creep and crawl. So give yourself lots of extra time. Plan ahead this morning if you do have to hop on Corkscrew. Also, traffic is delayed on Alico heading west to Ben Hill. That's you up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
85 degrees for your Friday. Few showers possible, but limited, as we see a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Chance of rain Saturday, then we watch the progress and the potential for rain and wind associated with Ada Sunday through Tuesday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South makes windows that are energy efficient and hurricane resistant. You get both. If you have aluminum windows, it's time to get rid of yesterday's technology. New South is the factory and eliminates the middleman. Don't even think of buying windows until you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
For a limited time only, save 40% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, forgetful,
Who put this banana in the toaster?
you did?
Cool, okay, just checking.
And even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Sunday on Wink TV. The biggest NFL games are on CBS, and the best place to watch, Wink TV. Sunday at 1. Lamar Jackson and Baltimore travel to Indy to face Phillip Rivers and the new-look Colts. Then at 4, after his first NFL win, Tua Tagovailoa takes Miami cross-country to test his talents against Arizona. Ravens versus Colts at 1. Dolphins versus Cardinals at 4:30. Sunday, the NFL on CBS is on Wink TV.
For perfect air and better health, call AC by Florida Comfort Systems. They're offering up to $13.50 in rebates plus payments as low as $132 a month on a new Linux system. Call AC by Florida Comfort Systems at 239-774-5501 today. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number CAC 057065.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, plus there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Federal agencies urge every family to have an emergency radio. During any disaster, electrical power may get cut. The emergency radio gives you the vital information you need. Newsmax wants you to have the Dynamo Emergency Radio. It doesn't need batteries and works in any emergency. It retails for $30, but get it today with the free offer. Call toll-free 877-NEWSMAX. That's 877-NEWSMAX. Or go online to gettheradio.com and get the emergency radio today.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you are here joining us, choosing this program to start your day. Thank you. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, the same number that you can right now, if you would like, text the word troops to 239-479-5592. Why? Because even through all of this tumult, it is 10,000 for the troops time. People have been asking me, are we doing it this? Of course we're going to do it. You think we're going to forget the men and women serving overseas at this holiday season, where I can tell you from personal experience what it meant for them to get a Christmas card from you with a warm message inside during the holidays, as I went last year to Ramstein in Germany to be able to deliver your cards to them personally, and what I can tell you what it meant to them. We're not forgetting about them, and neither should you. So we would love to break records, big numbers this year. So we want to get 10,000 for the troops. Let's see if we can do more than that. All you have to do is get your group, your organization, your family, yourself together. Fill out a Christmas card and send it to 10,000 for the troops, P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. And if you want the address handy on your phone, just text the word troops, and you'll be able to get that right now. So let's see if we can do big numbers, big numbers. Bigly numbers. We would like that. All right, let's get to some of the latest shenanigans. I mean, the Democrat, what's going on? You know what's happening right now. Democrats trying to steal this election. The president brought it up yesterday. What is going on? He's disgusted. We're disgusted. We know what they're trying to do and the game they're trying to play.
Is this a case where they're trying to steal an election?
They're trying to rig an election, and we can't let that happen. Detroit and Philadelphia, known as two of the most corrupt political places anywhere in our country, easily cannot be responsible for engineering the outcome of a presidential race.
Right, exactly. And so what are they doing? What is going on? We know what's going on. We know how it's being engineered. Of course, we have examples, more examples now of what is happening with election fraud that is going on than we ever had with any kind of Russian collusion hoax or anything like it. We got Pam Bondi, who's in Pennsylvania yesterday, who, along with the campaign lawyers, have a sheet of paper that states from a judge that they are able to go in and witness for themselves what is happening inside these counting areas in Pennsylvania. And when they go up there, they get questioned as to what this paper is, and we have to talk. And what do you mean? I've got the paperwork right here that says from a judge that we can witness what is going on. So what did they slyly do there in Philadelphia?
They are still not in compliance. Our votes are being suppressed. We cannot count the votes properly. What's happening is they have moved the barrier up to 6 feet, but they took away the ballot machines that were in the front row and moved them to the back of the building.
Now, why would you do that? If you're a Democrat, can you call this program 239-479-5592 and explain how that's transparency? How you apparently love the idea of this happening because your guy could possibly win. Like that's pretty sick, to be honest, because none of us who care about the Constitution, who care about the Republic, who care about the future of elections, and how I am pretty sure that in the state of Florida, if it appeared as if a Democrat candidate in the future might be winning, that the governor at the state, and let's say it was DeSantis and the legislature were like, oh, let's just wait a little while. That's the end. I'm sure you would be all about that. You would love that idea. We know what you're doing. So the president is lawyered up. The president is ready. The Democrats, I believe in the past, had more than 300 lawsuits in elections, taking it to courts, including back in 2000. And everybody allowed them to do it, allowed it to play out in the courts because of the questions that they had. You got to show the proof. You got to have the evidence. We believe we do. And somehow you're going to make the suggestion the president's not allowed to do this. Really? We think differently. Bill Barr, where's Bill Barr? I know a lot of people are asking, where is Bill Barr today? Well, we hear that the DOJ is being presented with some evidence out of Nevada this morning, evidence that may show that election fraud is taking place and that they will have this before them. And even Bill Barr in September, a defiant and angry and prescient Bill Barr, talking to Anderson Cooper on CNN about the possibility of fraud this election, and said this.
The bipartisan commission chaired by Jimmy Carter and James Baker said back in 2009 that mail-in voting is fraught with the risk of fraud and coercion.
But since then,
and until this
administration haven't proved it.
Let me talk. In the newspapers, in networks, academic studies saying it is open to fraud and coercion. The only time the narrative changed is after this administration came in. Elections that have been held with mail have found substantial fraud and coercion.
As far as widespread fraud, we haven't seen that since.
Well, we haven't had the kind of widespread use of mail-in ballots that's being proposed. We've had absentee ballots from people who request them from a specific address. Now what we're talking about is mailing them to everyone on the voter list when everyone knows those voter lists are inaccurate. People trying to change the rules to this methodology, which, as a matter of logic, is very open to fraud and coercion, is reckless and dangerous. And the people are playing with fire.
They're playing with fire. He knew this back in September, and look at where we are. Listen, we've got to stop with this mail-in ballot stuff. It was Democrats through lawsuits that created this mail-in ballot idea that there's no way that people would be able to do absentee, and there's no way that we can find the time to show up in person. There's no way we can give somebody identification and signature verification. Can't do it. It's impossible. Do you realize how many people don't know how to sign something? You realize how many people don't have identification? No, I don't. How many people don't have identification? You know what? If we are, and again, to the ridiculous voter ID question, if we can spend trillions of dollars on coronavirus relief packages and then some, and shut down economies and do all this for who knows how long. Hey, if Joe Biden's the president, it could go on and on and on and on. You ready for that, everybody? It's not a joke. It's not a joke. You're telling me we can't spend any money federally to have every single person in the United States who is going to vote in a voting age have some kind of identification that is not a driver's license, but some kind of identification. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Like, there's no way we could possibly come up with anything like that. But if there were money and checks involved, I'm sure that they could come up with some kind of identification because, yeah, I'm just throwing all that out there. All right, lots of people calling. 239-479-5592. Let's go through the phone calls. All right, Elmer's up first in Fort Myers. Hey, buddy.
Hey, good morning, Drew. How are you?
I'm.
Hey, I was wondering if you could answer a question for me.
I'll try.
Why is it that the mailing ballots have been coming in for weeks and months, and when it gets down to the wire here, the only ones that are being read right now, or the last ones they've saved, are all the ones from the metro areas, from Philly, from Atlanta, to Detroit.
Elmer?
Yes, sir.
Answer the question.
Of course, we know the answer.
Answer the question for me.
But why hasn't anybody brought that up?
Everybody brings it up. It doesn't matter if you're corrupt, if you're a Democrat, if you desperately want your candidate to win, you don't care. It's in your face. It's in your face, Elmer. What are you going to do? Elmer, what are you going to do, buddy? What are you going to do? I got the media with me. I got the city with me. What you going to do? That's the attitude.
That's true.
It's sad. You see what I'm saying? It's sad that that's the attitude. You make an excellent point, but what I'm saying to you is, you know the answer to the question, and it's unfortunate, and it has to stop. It has to stop today, and it has to be laid bare. Like, this president has to take this to the mat. We got to go to the wall right now with this. We all have to go to the wall, and we have to expose all of this. Flat out has to be exposed. All right. Ed's in Fort Myers. Hello, Ed.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Listen, I have a couple of questions from some hardworking mechanics down here that are in just utter disbelief and losing our minds over all this. How far is the Republican Party going to go? How deep are their pockets? Are we going to be subpoenaing thousands, hundreds, thousands of ballots to actually reread them, to have that as proof? And also, you've already hit on Barr. Where is Barr? Exactly when is he going to come into this and start legal proceedings against people?
Well, I'm assuming. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, Ed. The question about Bill Barr is, I'm assuming that Bill Barr will come into play once the evidence is presented, specifically about the fraud. You've got the president who has lawyered up, who has a lot of questions. Evidence will be presented to courts. Will this go up to the Supreme Court? Probably. It should. And so that presentation is going to mean something. Having all of this. Matt Schlapp on was it this morning on Fox?
A terrible way to run an election. The presidency hangs in the balance, and the American people are shut out of a transparent process. And that means that the election results will be questioned by 50% of this country at this time when we are already at each other's necks.
Yeah, we have to figure this out. We do. He's right. We have to figure it out. All right, Ruth. Ruth's in Cape Coral. Go ahead, Ruth. You had, what'd you have on your mind today? Oh, Ruth is gone. All right. We tried. Let's go to Carlos. Carlos is in Clewiston.
Hey,
Hey, good morning, Drew.
That's okay.
Listen, you want proof of fraud? Hey, have your listeners go to the Michigan Information Center and just look up the names of dead people, and you see how much they vote. They're mailing their votes through mail. These people are dead. They're so very patriotic that they're voting. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Punch in the name William Bradley.
Yeah, I know. We saw. Yeah, for those that don't know, if you looked at online, there were people that were putting into the Michigan voter rolls people that have been dead for that were technically would be 125 years old, and all these names were still popping up, and they were still receiving ballots. And interestingly enough, how are they coming back? And no, So
what more proof do they need?
This is the bigger broad. To be honest with you, Carlos, here's the bigger, broader question: are we all concerned about voter fraud in all of its forms? Because I hate to break it to everybody, but it exists here in the state of Florida. It happened during this election. I'm sure if we were to explore where it happened and how it happened. It's happened in every single state. It has happened for as long as we can remember. And with these voter rolls and purging the rolls, the question is, who are the individuals that want to keep it? And who are the individuals that want to get rid of it?
Yeah.
And until we can, so you can't have nice things, Carlos. You want to know how this works? I hate to say this, but it's like with my 12-year-old. My 12-year-old loves tools. He loves tools. He loves the drill. He loves banging on things. He loves building stuff. He's a builder. He's outside. He's building stuff all the time. You know what my son doesn't do? He doesn't put things back. He'll leave the drill. Will be outside in front of the house all night. There'll be tools scattered all over the place. I'll be looking for a screwdriver. I can't find it. I have two choices. I could either put them away myself, or I could say you can't have nice things. And I have to lock up the toolbox, and you can't go back in the toolbox. I got to lock it up. I got to get rid of it. You can't have them anymore. Yeah. Mail-in ballots are going to be the same way. Either we're going to stay, and here's the thing. We don't need to have the mail-in ballot process the way we have it right now. We don't have to. There's no reason to do this. Democrats want this. They want it because it's the best way to commit fraud. And if you don't like that, if you think that that's too hyperbolic for you, if you're listening as a Democrat, Carlos, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. If you think that's an outrageous statement, that's hyperbolic, how dare you say that, then are you with me? Let's stop the nonsense. Absentee ballots only. No more of these mailing into the voting rolls. No more of this just mailing out indiscriminately. Let's stop the process. Let's do something about having people vote on election day, and let's do something about getting all the ballots counted the day of. So there's either a couple of things going on here. Either you don't want it, or you do. Either you're incompetent, or you're a fraud. That's what I said yesterday, and I'm sticking with it. All right, where else do we want to go? I don't know. We'll just keep going. April's in Fort Myers. Hey, April.
Hey.
Hi.
So I'm wondering if it's possible, since a lot of these appeals courts in places like Philadelphia and everything with the extra 500,000 people on their rolls can be culled through this process. If they can, like they said, subpoena the ballots and say, okay, these 500,000 people are dead or house cats or, moved to Florida last year and are voting down there too. Vote often, vote early.
Yeah, no, I would assume that legally that would be part of the process. They would have to show. See, the question becomes: is to a court or to those? If you're a radical judge and you're fine with what's going on right now. Your politics are at play, and you're the Trump legal team, and you step up and you say, hey, I've got, here's 50 ballots that we just found an example that were set on fire or dumped in a dumpster or whatever the case may be. This is the kind of fraud that's going on. Can you prove that 50 is indicative of 500,000 or 50,000 or more? And so I don't know how that plays out. And that's part of my concern is how far will we be able to go in this process with lawyering up. and be able to take it straight to the Supreme Court with some of what they're discussing as the legal and the non-legal ballots. Let me kind of rephrase this, April. I hope this makes sense. Here, let's go with this. When people are saying we need to count all the legal ballots,
right?
Legal meaning what? Because in the state,
citizens living,
right. Well, Well, let's follow this logic. There's a lot going on in Pennsylvania, for example, about what is legal and what isn't. And we say, well, hold on a second. If it came in 3 days, days later, it's not legal. Well, because of the changes that were made on the fly last minute, thanks to a court in Pennsylvania that decided to change the election laws of the legislature that was in place, then really what's legal and what isn't? You see what I'm saying? In other words, the legal votes, technically, something that comes in late, the way it's set up now in Pennsylvania, is legal. So how do you make the case that something is not legal because you don't like the way they are doing it in the state, which is responsible for this? You may have a problem with the judge coming through and saying that all bets are off when it comes to what the legislature laid out. If the legislature says, election day, follow me, April, election day, that's it. That's it. They come in on election day, at midnight on election day, that is it. That's what the legislature put forward. That's what the elected officials put there. And then
not 4 in the morning in a big box.
Right. And then here comes Democrats who sue the legislature and go to a court, and the court and they say, listen, it's a different time. You can't do this. We got COVID. It's rampant. People can't leave their houses. We have people that aren't even working right now because they can't leave we have to have an exception. And a judge says, yeah, you're right. Let's have 3 days later. Let's have them come in late. We'll count them 3 days after. And, oh, by the way, you don't necessarily have to have the signature match because, we're in special times right now. So what the judge did.
Concentrate on your signature if you're sitting at home.
Well, so what the judge did was outrageous. But now, when we go to a court and say, count every legal ballot, Democrats will say, yeah, you're darn right, count every legal ballot. That one that came in 2 days late, it's legal because of the new.
As long as they're alive and they're not a house cat.
Right, but you see what I'm saying? I'm playing that. I'm playing the other side of what will be discussed and the concerns that people have. I agree with you, but that's part of the problem here. Is that in this whole process, how is this going to play out? I don't know. Legally, I don't know.
Is Nancy going to take the fucking office because they can't get this thing figured out? Sorry for my
somebody would like that. All right, April, I gotta go. 239-479-5592. Positive. Listen, it's not over. It ain't over. We keep the fight up. We keep exposing what's going on. That's what we do. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel.
True Steel. Weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Cathedral Roofing Innovations, the tile roof experts in Southwest Florida. They have an important message for anyone who has had these three things happen. Now, if you answer yes to all three, you have to call Cathedral Roofing Innovations today. 1, did you file any roof damage claim to your insurance company in the last 3 years? 2, do you have a tile roof? 3, did your insurance company deny your claim and only pay for a small repair? Look, I know thousands of you listened and answered yes to all three questions. Now, even if your claim was denied, there are still ways to get your new tile roof. Do not let the opportunity to increase the value of your home go by. In some cases, we're talking about $75,000 to $100,000. It's not too late. Now, all you have to do is contact Cathedral Roofing Innovations. Just go to cathedralroofingnaples.com right now to start increasing the value of your home. That's cathedralroofingnaples.com.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, Visit savingtheinvestor.com.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. You hear AC technicians with all kinds of fancy titles in advertising like Comfort Specialist, Energy Maintenance Technician, Comfort Advisors, blah, blah, blah. So what's that all mean? It's simply a catchphrase for salesman who isn't an air conditioning mechanic. Real mechanics have real NATE certifications. And if your company doesn't employ NATE certified mechanics, you're getting a sales tech at your house for service. A NATE certified mechanic has been to real air conditioning school and is tested for competency. So you know that your mechanic actually knows how to fix your air conditioner and not just sell you stuff. It's easy to spot the difference. Just ask for their NATE ID. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
Has the little blue pill let you down? Our expert medical staff at mymensclinic.com can and will help. Guys, if you're suffering from ED, we can fix it. Even if you have tried Viagra and other drugs and they've failed you, we will help. Studies have shown that we offer the most effective non-surgical treatments for ED, even if you have other medical conditions. They're generally no problem. We know that hearing "we can try again next weekend" is tough. When what you want to hear is wow, we at mymensclinic.com have helped thousands of men just like you, thousands more nationally. We can make one simple guarantee, and we do. See our licensed medical staff. If we can't show you positive results during that first appointment, that appointment is free. Guys, let's get the wow back in the bedroom. Guys, let's book online at mymensclinic.com or call 239-307-0125. That's 239-307-0125. Again, mymensclinic.com.
Heroes nowadays can be anyone. And no, they don't have to fly, or have X-ray vision, or superhuman strength. See, in Naples, our heroes wear masks. They practice physical distancing. They wash their hands regularly. NCH Healthcare System and the City of Naples are counting on you to be a hero and wear a mask. Because in Naples, all heroes wear masks.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and want out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-780-5959. 800-780-5959. 800-780-5959.
Tune in on Sunday mornings, Fox News 92.5, Dr. Amy Robbins and Maximize Living Radio. I'm going to be going over topics like leaky gut, weight loss resistance, how to fix your chronic aches and pains, how to deal with all of those things in a natural way, how to sleep better. So there's a different topic every single week that we're going to be covering. Tune in and get the help that you need.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Despite more than 6,000 new cases reported across our state yesterday and more than 100,000 cases across the country, tourism is picking up in Lee County. A new report from the county shows more than half the tourists they talked with feel comfortable traveling again and visiting places like the beach. People in long-term care facilities are allowed to enjoy their families outside of their facility over the holidays. The Agency for Healthcare Administration in Florida says people in long-term care facilities must be allowed to leave for holiday visits if they'd like to. Those who choose to leave must wear a mask and will be screened when they return. The family of Lauren DeMolo hired a private investigator to help her case. DeMolo was last seen June 19th at her apartment on Coronado Parkway in Cape Coral. Still no winner in the race for president. As of early this morning, Joe Biden took a lead in Georgia. The former vice president's also leading in Nevada. The president was leading in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. The person responsible for putting hate signs on the FGCU campus has been caught. President Mike Martin sent an email to staff and students saying they found the person responsible after reviewing their license plate registration. That person has no relation to the campus. They received a trespass warning. FGCU is one of 6 women's teams in the Gulf Coast Showcase nicknamed the Beach Bubble. Like the NBA's bubble, teams will follow testing and social distancing protocols. No fans will be allowed in the stands, but there will be a live stream. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Unfortunately, we are still slammed on Corkscrew Road for almost 2 miles if you're heading out of Bellaterra. Just a very congested morning all the way to Ben Hill. Now, there's a crash at Pine Chase in Three Oaks with southbound delays on Three Oaks. If you want to stick to US 41 or even 75, both are up to speed. There's a crash on 75 on Alligator Alley, mile marker 73. This is as you've passed 29, heading towards the East Coast. Really make sure to tap on those brakes. Very active scene. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
85 degrees for your Friday. Few showers possible, but limited as we see a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Chance of rain Saturday. Then we watch the progress and the potential for rain and wind associated with Ada Sunday through Tuesday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Stevens.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, Steve on the sports. It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel like you're the forgotten person in this great country, working hard all your life and contributing to this country's greatness, but taken for granted by our politicians' quest for voters? Using their slogan, more taxes will set you free. At Stevie's, you are not forgotten. We love our customers and never want them to feel forgotten. We deliver the value you deserve with our food, service, and pricing. Making our customers feel special is our happiness. As the owner of Stevie Tomatoes, we cater to the forgotten person. Those of you who go about every day doing what it takes for them and their family while contributing to this country's greatness, its culture and values. I personally invite you to allow us to be a small part of what makes you feel special, and we promise to obtain your complete satisfaction. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Charlie's management team is currently a team of one.
Yeah, I got a meeting, but you keep up the good work. Can you fix that display for me? Did Steve show up today?
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0% APR financing on all new Harley-Davidsons this week. That's right, 0% APR. And financing terms that can save you thousands on interest. Over 300 new and used Harleys in stock at Rockstar Harley, ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week. Word up, yo. Buy a Harley and pay 0 interest. Rockstar Harley-Davidson is the #1 volume Harley dealer in Florida. It's the best time to buy at Rockstar Harley. On for credit and Sunday.
Indoor enthusiasts feel relaxed, comfortable, and happy in the great indoors. You can too with the perfect air that comes from the reliable, groundbreaking Lennox products offered by AC by Florida Comfort Systems. Right now, you can get up to $13.50 in rebates, plus payments as low as $132 a month on a new Lennox home comfort system. Call AC by Florida Comfort Systems at 239-774-5501 or visit online acbyfcs.com. For great products, big savings, and perfect air, think AC by Florida Comfort Systems, your local Lennox dealer. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number CAC 057065.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. years, CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. It's hard to believe it's Friday. I was just telling Jake, it's Jake Day. It's a Friday. We're supposed to be happy, and Jake looks like, look at him. If you're looking on YouTube, we stream live at Drew Steele Radio there, Steele with 3 E's. All right. We're going to talk less about Jake. We're going to talk to Mike Opelka coming up in just a minute. And first, there's a lot of audio. This is just a little bit. Top 5 audio clips of the day. Let's do that right now.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
They are still not in compliance. Our votes are being suppressed. We cannot count the votes properly. What's happening is they have moved the barrier up to 6 feet, but they took away the ballot machines that were in the front row and moved them to the back of the building. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. There's Pam Bondi in Pennsylvania saying, hey, listen, we had a court order we could watch. And they said, okay, here, come on, you can stand here 6 feet, and then they move everything back. Is that... You got to believe Vladimir Putin is sitting there going, that's a very good thing. I never thought of that.
Number 4.
Something's wrong here. Something's wrong. So I left yesterday at 4 o'clock. I came back today, and I started taking videos and pictures inside the convention center. And the reason you and I are talking is one went viral, okay? And I really feel sorry for this individual. His name's the Philly Godfather. He's one of the biggest handicappers, and Stu Varney has him on Fox all the time. And his Twitter account shut down right now. Because
on what grounds? On what grounds?
There is no ground.
There is no grounds. That's a poll watcher who was on Tucker Carlson's show last night who's saying he was thrown out for doing his job. It's outrageous what's happening in Philadelphia right now, and what he cares about is the integrity of the election. He's not worried about Democrats or Republicans. He's worried about the integrity of the process.
Number 3.
That is the President of the United States. That is the most powerful person in the world. And we see him like an obese turtle on his back, flailing in the hot sun, realizing his time is over.
Wait, that's Anderson Cooper talking about the president and his speech from yesterday. And that's Anderson's take on it is flailing on his back, a turtle flailing on his back, realizing that his time is over. That's rich coming from CNN, whose time is over.
Number 2.
Secretary, some tweets have surfaced, admittedly from a couple of years ago, your tweets suggesting negative things about Donald Trump. What do you say to people that say, geez, you're the person overseeing this election and you have clearly partisan views on the matter? What's your response to that?
So my response is, look, these were 4 years ago. And at the time, I was not in the administration. I was not in any public service. I was a private citizen. It was a personal Twitter account.
What's the big deal? It was a personal Twitter account. It was just my personal feelings 4 years ago, Kathy Boockvar, who's the Pennsylvania Secretary of the Commonwealth and who's the one who's supposed to be overseeing everything that's happening with the ballot counting and the issues of the election process in Pennsylvania. Look, that was 4 years ago. As soon as I got elected, I was just right down the middle because every single elected official that is either in an NPA situation or that has to do with the integrity of the vote has absolutely zero worry or concern about their political affiliation in the past. Because the minute I get elected, that's gone. It's ridiculous.
Number 1.
This is a case where they're trying to steal an election. They're trying to rig an election.
And we can't let that happen. Detroit and Philadelphia, known as two of the most corrupt political places anywhere in our country, easily cannot be responsible for engineering the outcome of a presidential race.
Just part of what the president said yesterday about the election process right now. And I ask, is he wrong?
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Mike Opelka, is he wrong?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Of course not. And the weird thing is, an hour before that presser, I was on the phone with Bill Stepien and Jason Miller talking about what was going on and what did their data show. And the president repeated much of it, but they said, quote, if we count all legally cast ballots, we win. And therein lies the nuance that the Democrats and the mainstream media are not addressing, the word legally, and they have a problem with that. And so we're going to see what happens on this. I'm glad you played that Anderson Cooper clip.
Yeah.
Because it does expose what we're going to see now. The minute this is called for Joe Biden, if you thought the rhetoric about Donald Trump was bad before this, it's just going to be unhinged.
Yeah.
And everything is on the table.
Yeah,
They're going to say stuff about this guy that you have never heard before.
And
it's
that's
just going to be awful.
And the two things that I'm worried about is certainly that they're trying to drag, the media is trying to drag Joe Biden and the states across the finish line for that very reason. So that when they say it's Joe Biden, he is declared the winner. Of course, it's the media that I didn't know that the media has the magic wand, that they're the ones that declare the winner. It's like, hey, look, he's magically. No, you don't. It's the secretaries of state. You don't get to call the race until everything is counted, but you keep going. So that the perception is that now Joe Biden's the president of the United States elect, and anything that happens after this is taken from him, is stolen from him. And the second thing that I'm concerned about, Mike, and it's this. You have to go now, the president's legal team goes to a court. They go to the Supreme Court. And to the point of the Pennsylvania Secretary of the Commonwealth saying, my political affiliation. Yeah, I might have said some bad things about Trump and the GOP and not being progressive in the past and some awful things about the president. But as soon as I'm elected, it's all different. The same thing I worry about is the Supreme Court and other judges that will hear these cases and have political bias and pressures on them now to, according to the American people and the media, take the new duly elected Joe Biden, the president of the United States, and overturn that. That's a concern to me. The perception.
Yeah, it is a difficult thing. And the interesting thing about the Supreme Court is they want to be seen as fair. Yeah. So that's always in the back of their minds. And they're kind of like Democrats like that, as opposed to doing what's correct and what is in accordance with the law. And I've been going through a list of things. I don't know if you have crazy friends like me who send me all their list of panics about all of this.
Oh, yeah.
And I got a list like Fairfax, Virginia, switched 100,000 votes from Trump to Biden, stating a clerical error. Has anyone explained that?
No.
Wisconsin discovers 112,000 Biden ballots between 3:30 and 4:30 in the morning the other day. Yeah. Nevada decided they won't have all vote counts in until yesterday, and then they dropped the signature verification. It's just amazing to me that Twitter deletes current sitting president's tweets on election night and then censors him throughout the next 2 days. Yeah. So, and North Carolina, 100% of the precincts reported, counted with Trump in the lead, and it's not being called. What is going on?
Yeah, and so the question I ask you now is, through all of this, I am also worried, and maybe you can speak to this directly. Here's the second concern I have. Look, I'm trying to come up with positives. I'm trying to feel good about something, but here's the second part to be concerned about. I don't know if we really want to stand here and say that the Senate is a firewall, because we've got two races in Georgia right now that look like they're going to go to a runoff on January 5th. And if they lose both of those races, all bets are off. And as a matter of fact, why would you even think that the Democrats wouldn't pull the same shenanigans in Georgia that they're pulling right now, a month and a half after the election?
It's going to be a lot harder. There won't be as many mail-in votes.
Yeah.
And so that'll be a lot harder.
I
So
hope
Georgia,
so. I hope you're right.
Georgia, we have some hopes there, and we have to have faith in that process. And we also have to believe that Donald Trump, I hope to God, if Donald Trump is a one-term president, if he's a lame duck guy, I hope to God he goes down there and campaigns for those people so that his legacy will be maintained. Because if he doesn't, his legacy will be destroyed within a month. Before Kamala Harris can push Joe Biden down a flight of stairs in the White House when nobody's looking.
Oh, gosh.
His legacy will be. Did I say that part out loud?
Yeah, you kind of did. Yeah, and it's well, I mean, they talk about pushing grandma off the cliff, right? With the Obamacare thing. What's the difference? She's pushing. That's not really nice. Mike Opelka joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Hey, do you have any other things you want to discuss? Because we've got a lot of people calling. We can always do the thing if you'd like to do that.
Let's do the thing. We love the people. I yammer all the time. Let's talk to the people.
All right, let's do it, everybody. It is something we do each and every day at this time. We finish out our program with the thing. What's on your mind? We call it the thing. What's your thing?
You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing.
All right, Jessica's there in Collier County. What's your thing there, Jessica? What's your thing on this Friday?
Yeah. Good morning. First
I can't
off,
hear
I
her.
hope you guys are safe.
Wait, hold
Hello?
on a second,
Hello?
Jessica. Okay, there you go. We just wanted to make sure Mike can hear you. Now you can be heard. Go ahead.
Good morning, guys. I hope you're doing the best you can. I know it's kind of whatever. But anyway, I just was calling because I had checked my status for voting, and I had voted in 2016, and it was inactive. So I had called the number I needed to call, and a lady answered. She said, "Oh, yeah, your address. You're supposed to just renew your address." And I'm living in the same place. I'm like, okay, well, I'm living in the same place. She goes, okay, I renewed it. Well, Friday, before I wanted to early vote, which was on a Monday, I had this gut feeling. I called the number again. Another nice lady answered. She goes, "You're still inactive." She goes, I'm going to renew your address like I'm supposed to, and I'm going to send you a mail-in ballot as well. And I said, well, I want to vote in person early. I'm not going to use the mail-in ballot. She goes, I'm still going to mail it to you anyway. You don't have to use it, but you can go over it and look at it. Well, Monday I went to go vote. I give my license. The lady that scans it says, you're supposed to be receiving a mail-in ballot. You are to terminate that when you get it. I said, fine, sure. I vote. Everything's fine. I still have not received that ballot. I don't know where it is. I don't know if a mail person stole it. I'm a registered Republican. I don't know if that shows on my ballot, so they would take it. I don't know where it is. I still haven't gotten it. We're how many days after the election?
Oh, boy. Well, unfortunately.
I don't know if you
Jessica.
I don't know if you guys have an answer or heard of that, but then I had posted it on a video I had watched, and millions of people, even from all around California, everywhere, go, I didn't receive mine either. I never received it, but dead people are voting? Are you kidding me?
Oh, boy. Yeah, Jessica, listen, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Mike.
Hey,
yeah,
I'm shocked. I'm shocked and appalled that there would be a piece of mail missing.
Yeah.
But there's breaking news right now.
There is?
Yeah, Pennsylvania just upped the count, and Biden is now 5,000 votes ahead.
You got
in Pennsylvania.
You've got.
I'm not kidding you. Wait, that's almost a 700,000 vote move in 2 days.
It's impossible. It's absolutely, positively impossible.
You're from New York. You know what Pennsylvania's famous for.
I know. Well, let me ask you this. Do we get to count provisional military ballots as well? Do we get to have those come in, or is that included?
Only if they are big enough in a margin. They usually hold the provisional / military ballots until such time.
So what are they suggesting the number is right now? It's 5,000?
Pennsylvania's up 5,587 votes.
I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I'm sick to my stomach.
It's hard not to be. Georgia's now up 1,097. Pennsylvania up 5,500. Nevada still up 11,000, and Arizona up 47,000 for Biden. So based on this, we're headed to We're headed to Judge Judy's Supreme Court,
Oh,
ladies
gosh.
and gentlemen.
So, all right. So let's talk about that then. So now with everything that we know, I'm sure now that this has taken place, everybody's going to call it. They're going to rush to the microphones and call it. What happens next? We lawyer up, which we've done, and then we go to the courts with proof. Do we have it? How does that work?
Yeah, because this goes right back to what you said initially, and that's the reality. The sad reality is if this all holds up, if the Pennsylvania count continues, and they're not done yet, there's still a few more small counties that are being waited to get their ballots in. But if this goes the way it is, then it will have been stolen from Biden if you dare reverse any of these.
Right.
So no matter what we've seen in the blocking of the observation, and there were more than 120,000 votes counted before the observers were allowed in Philly, more than 120,000 counted, that now we're up 5,500 in Pennsylvania. This will be called a theft, and this will forever be tainted. This is going to go back to 2020. We're 20 years from that election, and they're still mad. Al Gore's still
2000.
mad.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah, 20 years ago. It's amazing.
Oh boy. Okay.
Hey, did I tell you there's some good news out there?
Yeah.
Yellowstone caught the guy trying to fry chickens in the hot spring.
What?
I'm just trying to come up with weird stories. A guy got caught in Yellowstone trying to fry a chicken in one of the hot springs. I'm not kidding.
Why not? I mean, at this point, I wish the refrigerator-sized meteor would have hit, because at this point, it's an election eve.
Another thing the mainstream media was wrong about.
Oh my goodness! All right, we're gonna go. I'm looking at the time. We'll take up your calls on Monday. I don't know what's going to happen this weekend. I'll give you a little bit of good news here. Well, let's leave it with this. We do not forget our men and women serving overseas, and it's 10,000 for the troops time. So get your Christmas cards together. Do not forget about them in all the chaos and all the fraying of nerves and everything else. Please, please, please take a minute. Take a second to fill out a Christmas card with a warm greeting inside. Let's get them to our men and women serving. 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. You can text the word troops right now and get the address. And let's not forget about them. It is that time of year. And let's make this the biggest year ever. And we'll do that. And we'll end it on that. All right, Mike Opelka, I'll see you. Well, I'll talk to you, I'm sure, in a little while and throughout the weekend and probably every hour on the hour as my nerves are frayed. And then it'll culminate into a Monday, which who knows what's going to happen.
I'll be at the bar.
Okay, can I join you?
Yeah, bring it on.
Okay, good.
Leave the bottle.
All right. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
For today, 85 degrees with a chance for some spotty rain.